All right, Maelie, you've been voluntold.
Oh no.
Oh yes.
Uh, Honestly, I feel really bad, but I've been so busy I can't remember how it started last week. But anyway, we'll start up from where Maelie remembers, right?
Okay.
So, Effie gets saved by Seino, and we argue yet again. We're wandering around. Um, for some strange reason, Effie runs off on her own because I guess she sees something in the distance, and Challa chases after her, and it's all a big hoop to do. So we split up, even though Seino was very particular, saying, don't do that. And we do that anyway. Effie gets lost. We lose sight of her. And Challa and Sera start talking about stuff that was kind of boring. I wander back to Irha, find out he's not lapsing anymore, and is freaking out because he didn't know we were in the dream. Effie shows back up, thank goodness. Scares me half to death. And we keep walking a little bit ways through the dream. We find out that flowers do things. Oh, that's right. Luka touched a flower that he shouldn't have. He touched a lust flower and got the hots for Seino. So, instructions, don't touch flowers unless you're ready to accept those consequences. But we come to a giant tree in a silver pool, and some people look into it and see themselves, and Seino looks into it and sees something different. He goes and changes something about himself, and then somehow drug, I guess, an older version of myself out of that pool, the halfling version of me, which, after much deliberation, I decided to accept back into myself. And that may or may not have made things better or worse. It's hard to tell. I feel free again, and I think Seino feels the same, but we seem to be back on square one with how it's affecting Irha. Sera finally kind of went off her rocker and decided to confront us about all those things, especially after what Seino did in the pool. And we had a long talk about how things were back on Conflux, and a little bit on Calcatesh, and a lot on what we did in the station itself of Folly. And now, I think we're on our way to the edge just to see what we can see with Folly before we decide what to do in the dream, whether we're fixing the dragons, fixing the waking realm, or going after Folly. Yep.
Nice.
Effie got to see Cyclicus as well, and Challa got his moment. He finally noticed the sign from the gods and shot his arrow, hit his mark.
Oh, yeah.
He did it. Challa is so cool. Look at him.
Sideways.
Yeah.
He's
so
ready.
cool.
He's complete. He is prepared.
Effie's just riding him like a surfboard.
Is Zahaab here? Did he leave?
What?
Oh, there he is.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, he's just muted.
What?
Sorry,
What?
I'm setting things up. My internet's being a bit finicky.
He's getting
Thank you
them
so
turkey
much.
teeth.
Yeah, for get my teeth redone during this game.
Mm-hmm.
I've been using
hear
that
the
accent the
drill.
whole time in front of the doctor. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Maelie. That was Essie, I mean, that was a wonderful recap.
Are you?
Oh, thanks.
Sounds like he's on
Yay.
Xanax. Yay.
You're on
Yeah, I told
painkillers
you, with my
too.
teeth redone, I'm zanned out.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I'm getting ready to get started. And want to make sure all that's good. Oh, that's good. This is good. Oh, my music had to throw some fucking music out there.
I think I sound zanned because I went to one of the lost Ottoman bathhouses left in Turkey, and this guy, he must have weighed at least 500 pounds, came in and fucking, like, fully naked, rubbed me down with soap and fucking washed me down with cold water, and I've never felt more alive.
Did you get beaten
That's
by
great, dude.
palm leaves?
No,
Or a
that's Russian.
towel.
No, that's Russian. He just did it with his fucking hand, and they put on this like weird glove, like it's an I think it's basically one of those exfoliating gloves, and he just rubbed me he just raked my skin, dude.
Those are amazing, though.
Okay.
Yeah, I've
Just
never
getting your
been this
skin rawed. It's so nice.
Raw dog.
Okay.
Yeah.
No. Mm-mm. It's not happening again. I'm turning the bus around.
Not even a little pinky.
No, none of that. Stop. My mom is in the
Turn
chat,
the
bro.
bus around.
Oh,
Hi, Mom, Kate.
hi, Mom, Peter.
Yeah, so
Hi,
it's my mom's birthday today. She was born
Oh.
2 days
Oh,
before
happy
me.
birthday.
Happy
Happy
birthday.
birthday.
Happy birthday
No.
to Mom
Birthday
Kato.
Oh my god.
Happy birthday
Oh my
to
God.
you.
Have you guys seen the meme where you just sing birthday?
Happy
No?
And it sounds like a
birthday.
chant. It's just birthday.
Birthday.
Feliz cumpleaños, Saki.
So do we get a mystery, like, 20?
Do we
Because
get
it's Mom Katum's birthday?
Ooh.
Like, is this a
No.
random 20?
No.
Oh.
Aw.
No.
I'm trying, guys. I'm trying.
Try harder.
My mother is not as forgiving as I am.
Oh.
Whoa. Whoa.
Dun 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 dun
Dun,
dun
dun,
dun.
dun, 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 dun.
Whap whap whap. Okay. Let's do this. Okay then. So, as you continue your journey through the dream, Seino wasn't here, but let me roll some stuff.
Do we have music?
Yeah,
Yes, it's spooky.
I
music.
hear nothing.
that French internet though.
Yeah. Yeah. It's playing, but oh well.
Very eerie. I like it.
I wish I could hear it too.
Is it turned down on your board?
No, it's like halfway. And it's counting up, but I hear nothing.
Huh.
Oh well.
It'll come on eventually.
Yeah.
Okay. Zahaab, I sent you a DM. You didn't respond to that real quick. And all this stuff should be good.
Oh, how cute.
Kind of worried about those first two rolls, but
Okay.
It's fine.
So, son, have mercy. Okay, Mom. My mom.
so confirmed. Random 20.
No, stop. God.
How can you deny your mom's birthday wish? Jeez.
Quite easily, in fact.
Oh.
Oh.
But what if she just like give this campaign a 20? Would you say no?
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. I was gonna say, take that as a yes, I guess.
Alright, and so the party travels through the dream and is undeterred, as it were, as you head along the side of the edge with the dragon's dream in the center to your west, or at least what you think is your west, as you move right along the edge of this large circular sphere that represents the dragon storm. Eventually, up ahead, you come across a break in the dream, like something has just torn right through the edge of the dream. The pieces that have been pulled off and split through leaves a gashing hole that leads directly through the dream and onto the other side. Where this, let's call it a tunnel, for lack of a better word, goes is unclear. But what is clear is that there is a sort of malediction that thrums through the tunnel, through the break and the tear. And that is where you arrive today. So, the map is active. Do as you wish and make me immediate perception checks.
Sorry, where's this tunnel? Is it just right here?
No, it's up here.
Oh, is it here?
Let me zoom out.
See
Oh,
this-
right here, this
see
edge.
This big tear.
Oh, this.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay, perception.
I'm perceiving. Ira's blind.
I'm Percocet.
Nara's looking at his hands.
He's like, well, I don't even know if we're in the dream anymore.
Where am I?
Ira's bangs are in his eyes. It's like, gosh, they just don't understand me.
No, his eyebrows are too thick and they're covering his eyes.
All
Too
right.
busy looking
Unibrow?
at Maelie.
No.
Ew.
Ew.
Oh my god, I can't believe they would look at it.
Oh,
Alright, with those rolls, up ahead, you can see that the breach is widening, or excuse me, it is wide, but it is longer than it is wide. You can see that it goes into beyond your sight. There are pieces within the breach, pieces of perhaps other people's dreams, and other structures that seem to just kind of float in the aftermath. You can also
You guys-
see that just on the outside of the dream, there are two large entities that seem to be inspecting it. Go ahead.
You guys, we might have to go into the breach.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Storm?
So,
Yeah?
No.
Yes.
Can we see the entities that are inspecting it, or is it just
Yeah.
their forms?
So, the entities are on the other side of the dragon's dream. You'll have to exit the actual dragon's dream to see them.
Oh.
It's kind of like you're inside a glass sphere and they're on the outside, but it's opaque and you can't quite see what they are. The breach
So-
pierces
Oh, okay.
through the sphere, not the other side.
Got ya.
so they're just
Okay.
on the other bank then, or they're
Mhm.
like, okay.
So let me explain. So
So
Okay.
it's kind of like when you're in Disneyland and you're taking the monorail out of Disneyland.
So you get to here. This is the outer edge of the dragon sphere, right?
Mm.
And the line cuts through a piece of it. So this is like a corner, kind of, has been cut off. And this is that lost corner. And the entities are floating outside of this.
Hmm.
They will nudge Seino forward. Can you get us to the other side, Seino?
Well, here's the question.
All right.
If we leave this, there's probably not coming back. And this is the dragon's dream, so if we want to deal with the dragon stuff, we should probably do it now and then come back and do this later.
We could inspect it.
Inspector Seino?
We should take a closer look.
What the fuck am I listening to? Yes, let's go forward.
You're listening to my voice. It's the same as
Oh,
it's
God.
always been.
How about that poutine?
If I have to listen to that for 4 hours, I'm gonna leave.
No, I love
No, I
Canadian
love it.
Seino.
That is not Canadian.
That's kind of like Kermit.
Why do you have a problem with my voice? It's so weird.
Jesus.
Not my fault that he's not here.
Can Challa look around and use flux sense on their flanks and other blind spots?
Go ahead.
Do you need me to chuck
Does
you
that mean a
across?
perception check?
Yeah. Well, you can see that there is a alarming amount of flux energy that is centered within the breach, lingering still as it is cut through the dream.
I alert the party to this.
You all mentioned you were on Taladani Station. Does it feel like that? That's where you found him.
It sure does feel the same.
So what are we going across the chasm?
Well, there's a lot of lingering energy here. I'm not quite sure what it is, but there's a lot of it.
Can I make a check on the lingering energy?
Sure. Arcanas.
Ooh.
Oakley dokily. Alright. Big explanation time. So, this is the normal dreamscape. This is the normal dreamscape. This is not. This is a hot knife through butter right here. Whatever is shot through the dream has left behind a residual amount of energy that seems to be very similar to the flux that you've seen from Conflux. Whereas Conflux had devices and energy types that were not compatible with any sort of dream connection, it seems that the reverse here is true. That whatever was left through here has left a scar in the dream. You could see that on the one end, where it came from, as Seino looks down, he informs you that he can see with his gnomish sight that at the end of this tunnel is probably where the Twilight Station was in the Astral Sea. And on the other end is an unknown destination. But then he points to something strange. It seems that one of the structures has somewhat survived this breach through the dream. And a lot of the residual energy still lies there. But getting to it would be the difficult part. Because within the breach, Seino is unable to conjure any sort of platform to walk on. So to get there, you'll have to leap for it.
Do you need me to do that, bud?
Do you think it's a good idea for you to be jumping through the dream like that?
I'm the best flippy doer in this party.
Before we leap into that, you talked to it, Maelie. Where is it going?
Well, Folly didn't outright say.
Where do you think it's going?
He said he was gonna get revenge on those who had imprisoned him and done him wrong. I assumed he just meant the keepers on the station, but I suppose there might be other sorts of keepers out there somewhere else that he's also trying to take revenge on. Wouldn't know where, though. Other stations, perhaps?
I think you're thinking too small, Maelie. Who imprisoned the Violet in the first place?
I don't particularly know, I don't think.
I think that is where Folly is going.
Okay, Miss Know-It-All. Where's he
I'm more
going?
interested in who's across there.
Effie's doing the Titanic.
You're on top of the world, Ma?
Yes. I'm on top of the world.
So Seino, you say that is the remnants of what was the station, yes?
I'm sorry. It's just ripped shit. My mom's son, please give mega fetus to teach me.
The what?
The fact that my mom typed out mega fetus.
Oh no.
Oh,
okay. I'm sorry. What was the question? I shut down for a second there.
Challa just mentioned, just was trying to get a clarification from Seino. Seino, that you are saying this is the remnants of the station? Yes, the Twilight station?
Well, at one end it is. That way.
And all the beings on the station are now dead. Except for us who got away.
I don't know if they're dead.
I'm gonna go check it out.
Effie, can you see who that is across? I can't make it out.
I look through my sunglasses with dark vision.
You can't quite see either. You'll have to get to the other side.
I'm going. And I
wait,
flippy-doo over here.
Well,
Why don't we tie some rope to you, so if you fall, we can tug you back in.
precisely.
Chilla pulls out some rope, ties it
Effie
around.
ties 50 feet of rope she has in her inventory to her waist and throws it.
How about
Chilla extends it
before
another-
you ruin our completion of tasks once again, we go
I already
and finish...
flippy-dooed.
Sera doesn't catch the rope. She just stands over here and watches.
Chilla runs up and catches the rope, and ties it to another 50-foot end. But he's holding it at the 50-foot point, and now there's another 50 feet that's sprawled out behind Chilla.
Sounds good. Huh.
Luka watches on with his arms crossed.
Chilla gives her slack as she needs it.
All right, Effie, as you jump over the first bit, you feel a really strange sense of vertigo. From when jumping to this point in the middle, your momentum still carries you, but you suddenly become weightless. And then you land as if gravity is affecting you again.
Ooh, interesting.
Gotta be careful.
Do you want me to keep making acrobatics checks?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh dear. Huh. Alright, make me a dex save to catch this one.
Saving throw or check?
Saving throw. Alright, you catch the edge, almost falling into the infinite nothing.
Sera politely applauds. Does a golf clap.
Alright, you start to climb back up. Now you're on this one. Hey, what's that?
Okay.
Make a perception check on that.
Oh.
Probably nothing.
Okay. Now this is going to be a very hard one.
Which direction are you going?
Down towards where Seino said.
So this way? Alright.
Yeah.
There's moving along, watching. She's getting into it like it's
In hindsight, it probably
sports
would have been
game.
easier to come down south before jumping to this one.
This one is
Precisely.
going to be very hard to reach. And that one's even harder.
She was lifting her arms up like a cheer.
Wait, I have a question.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You gotta tell me which one you're jumping for, Effie.
I know. I was planning to do this one, but then I'm like, why wouldn't I jump this way, come over here, and then jump this way?
Right. I don't know why you wouldn't.
Oh.
You want us to reel you in?
He's
Yeah, this is
fine.
dumb. New game plan, new game plan. So I jump back this way,
Chilla helps by yanking on the rope.
Sera stands back, so she's got space.
and
to
then
land.
I Naruto run this way.
Oh, she's moving with such amazing grace.
What is this, Arcadum?
A tree.
Oh, okay.
A weird dream tree.
Sera moves around the weird dream tree, not touching it.
So it mushrooms.
Can Luka
or
check it
people-
out?
All right, Effie. That is going to be a hard one.
What did it
I
feel like when
believe-
you were out there, Effie?
It's very interesting. It's like you jump, you're weightless for a little bit, and then you kind of slam back into reality.
Yeah, Seino, can you help her by tossing her a little?
Oh, sure.
Oh, I guess I could do that.
Yes.
Maelie would like to take a second and think to Ayaza. Hey, Ayaza, is there any way you can help me fly like you do when we're in the waking realm?
Wait, don't I have boots of flying?
No. I can't help you, I'm sorry.
Oh, well,
Give me an apple.
I've only got sugar cubes right now, but I'll make it taste like apple.
I can't eat them anyway, he says
Aw.
incorporally.
I miss having you out with me.
While they're doing that, can Luka just check out this tree? Are these dream trees?
Sure thing, make me a perception check.
Okay. Percepting. What does a 9 tell me?
Alright, well, as you kind of look around, you can see that they appear to be trees, but there is something off about them. Either the piece of the bark's kind of disjointed, the branches don't quite act the way that branches should be, and it seems that some fruit is growing on some of these trees, and the fruit looks kind of shiny. Doesn't look like any particular fruit. It almost looks like the bulbous dream spheres that you saw from the earlier plants.
Okay. Luka doesn't touch them, but he keeps it in his mind.
Okay, Seino. I'm gonna jump. You push me. I will try and activate my boots of flying and make it over to the thing.
Okay.
Good luck, Effie.
Thanks.
We got you.
And do you want me to do an acrobatics check?
Oh.
That mom birthday 20?
No, stop. All right, Seino will hold out his hands for you to leap off of, and he provides no extra momentum whatsoever.
Fine.
Ugh, you kind of just step on him.
Acrobatics check.
Yep.
And I'm trying to activate my boots of flying as well.
Okay. He's just floating in space. You activate your boots of flying. Tink, tink.
I'm doing it, guys. I'm
Whoa.
doing it.
Can we actually
Whoa, I
hear her?
Woo.
Yeah,
I think
Great
Seino
job,
really made-
Effie.
I'm
I
doing
think
it.
Seino- I think
You're
he
doing
really made the
great.
difference here.
So essentially, she activates her boots of flying, and she's just like rapidly dog paddling through the air, trying to get towards this thing.
I'm doing it. I did it.
Luka golf claps.
And I come and investigate the floaty square.
Or is she?
All right, make me a perception check. Okay, this larger piece of the shattered dream seems to have many strange symbols on it. Some of it you recognize as flux. You can read it somewhat. Tracing your hands over the symbols, you can see that this is a series of instructions, similar to the ones that you would follow and input to use your convalescence kit.
Do I see a slot for my convalescence kit?
You sure do.
I plug it in.
It's time to be Hackermans.
Boo-boo-boo-boo.
Hacking time.
So you know, like that meme with Peter Griffin and the long nails.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I imagine – happening.
She's just over there, click, clack, click.
Yeah, click, clack.
If you need any technical support, please wiggle this rope 3 times in vigorous fashion.
Did you turn it off and back on again?
She types one finger at a time.
Oh, God.
Did you hit it?
All right, Effie. As you use your convalescence kit, make me a d20 plus your level and check.
Slash roll d20 plus 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or are we 6?
Plus 5!
Oh, no.
What an interesting roll.
Yeah.
7. 7. 7.
All right. As you begin to use your convalescence kit to explore the inner workings of this, well, piece of the dream, what you start to see flash before your kit tells you a few things. First, this is definitely a piece of the Twilight Station. You could see that it even has pieces of the Twilight system's, let's call it, matrices that contain the information within its indexes. As you begin to search further, much of it's corrupted or lost because this is a piece of the Twilight Station and not the whole thing. But there are some pieces you are able to recover. The first appears to be a warning. A containment unit has been breached. Priority level 7. You can see that there are a couple of other references as well, which you think just are references to Folly, such as
She rolls her eyes.
the damage, that, different things like that. As you start to work your way through it, you can see that there is a last known trajectory that is marked upon this floating piece of stone. And that is it would seem that Folly's trajectory is actually leading to a specific place. And there is one name that pops up on your convalescence kit. And I'll type it out for you.
Sick.
Band.
Like a bard band?
Negative. It is the name of a world.
Do I know that, or can I make like a history check?
No, it says it on your kit.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't say it like that. It says planetary planet band, but you're able to use context clues to suss it out. So,
Are there any games like Minesweeper?
no, there are no apps.
Just starts playing Tetris.
Flappy Birds?
Pinball.
Is there anything else if I investigate this square? Or does it all just kind of, that's what it pointed me to?
Well, that's all you could find with that roll,
Okay.
unfortunately.
Well, then I give a thumbs up back to my crew,
Give a thumbs
did
up
it.
back.
and
Challa indicates that, like tugging on the rope as if he should yank her back in.
she nods, but then she athletics towards Flippy-doos towards the plateau over here.
All right.
Challa starts yanking it full pace.
Ah!
I'm kind of like
Da-da.
barrel rolling, like sausage rolling,
Da-da-da-da-da.
and the rope starts wrapping around my waist very neatly.
Wow, that was incredible.
Challa tries to unravel her and unleash her like a Beyblade upwards towards the middle of the group to debrief what's happened.
She spins like a dreidel this way.
What'd you
Let
find?
it rip.
He whistles a little bit because he can't pull out his flute in enough time to make a snake charming joke.
Which flute?
The same one he uses to charm cobras.
The skin flute?
Oh my god. You're just doubling down today. Like
That's Effie's instrument.
Very good at it too.
oh my god.
I used to be a bard.
Stop.
Okay, so
Oh, that's why she's a changeling. Okay.
here's the thing about that. So I know where Folly's going. So that's important, I think. He's going to the place called Band. Not like a bard band, but like a world band.
We know that already, actually.
Well, then why did I go over there?
Well, we
I
hope
don't know.
there'd be something else over there.
Well, partially because we are aware he was going to band, but the fact they are still going to band, or are still on band,
So when I asked you, Maelie, where he's going, and you said you didn't know, you lied to me.
Well, I think it's more an omission of a fact, not a lie.
So you let me risk my life floating over there?
No, we had the rope. You're good.
You also jumped unprovoked. You just went for it. I mean, good job. You did it. Proud of you.
I did.
And you're
do it.
safe. Yeah.
Sera, you're the smartest person I know. Do you know anything about this band?
What's the 23 tell us, Arcadum?
Oh boy. Well, with the 23 and with the Taladonic access to the archives that you once had, they have heard many references to other worlds in Taladonic space. What you know of Band is... Oh, hold on, I have to go open some ancient notes. Whew!
One moment, Effie. I'm accessing my RAM.
What's RAM?
I'm downloading more RAM.
She opens her mouth and starts doing the dial-up sound. Moto, this is normal. Don't worry. Happens. Power of magic.
And anime on my side.
I have the power of skibbity bob.
Skippity bop on my side.
My God.
I also have a question for you, Moto and Sera.
Yes.
And she swaps to Thieves' Cant.
Oh. Sera rubs her hands together. Let's see what I've picked up.
So when Sekelq's showed in the pool, he referenced the history of changelings and how I don't know
Hey.
what my history is.
What are they saying? I do not understand.
Let me
I don't-
roll it.
Hey,
I don't think
I
they're
have no
saying
idea.
anything, are they?
they're doing Thieves' Con, right? So it's kind of obvious they're communicating in some way.
Well, my back is turned.
That doesn't... Challa would just step to the center. He span you into the center for you to explain to everyone what's going on. If you just suddenly start speaking a different language with one of the party members...
Well, how do you know what Thieves' Cant is?
Well, if you start just moving your hands, it's obvious you're communicating, no? It's not like you're telepathically speaking.
But she could be if she's talking to Sera.
But that's not what she said.
Oh, both caught in the act.
Arcadum with a 22 lets Sera read what Effie was just signing.
No.
What did she get out of it?
What did you actually say, Effie?
I said, when I was talking to Sekelq's, he told me I don't know the history of changeling kind, and mentioned somebody named Toman.
Talk me don't know my history.
That's
That's
really
it.
hard for you to understand, Arcadum.
Yeah, it's supposed to be. You don't know. You can't speak what you say. Talk me don't know my history.
Sera used Moto to talk back to her in her head. What about your history?
I apparently don't know about it. Can you help? Do you know?
Yeah, let me roll again. 20. Even. What would she get, Arcadum?
You don't know. You don't know what the fuck she's talking about.
Effie, why don't we wait till we're further away from the imbeciles? We'll talk then.
Okay. So, this is what you know
Oh, hang on, let me get ready to type.
about Band.
Ready.
Okay. So, what little you can remember about Band is that Band is one of the major colonization projects that Maltos undertook. Specifically, Band is an incredibly large planet, several times the size of Verum, and it was believed by Maltos that the ley lines there were so strong that it could potentially serve as a secondary world since the failure of Ragdar. So, you can see that there are many different messages. Most of it's kind of that you remember from reading, but this is what you do know. The world of Band is where Maltos sent the next generation of artificial intelligences known as angels. And it is most likely that if all went well, that the angels have already built a society that the Maltosians can use to transition their people to. That is what the last known recording that you remember from.
What was the date on that recording?
Oh, that was 560 in Taladonic, on the Taladonic calendar, which essentially translates to about 1,000 years ago. So, you know, a long time.
Is the human lifespan in your world same thing at IRL, like 80 to 100 years?
100 years. Yeah.
Okay.
That's 10 generations of humanity.
Okay.
That's 2 generations of elves, 3 generations of dwarfs, and others with similar lifespans.
Well, what I know about Band, since I don't lie by omission, it was the after Ragdar failed. That's where Maltos tried next. That's where the Tal Aldani Society tried next. And they sent... She'll pause. You are familiar with the Taladonic Angels. Really what Primus was, or was supposed to be.
Yeah.
Right. Then that is where the angels were sent. It was the next generation of angels, but I don't know much more beyond that. They were sent there to build a society that could receive the Taladani. But the data I have is from 10 generations ago. We're human.
So we don't know how well that went, if there were problems like on Conflux or not.
Correct. And I haven't heard anything else about Band in 1,000 years.
I have a question, Arcadum.
Yeah.
So, when we all died,
Yeah.
that was like 50 years ago.
Relatively.
And then when we got ported into Conflux, time kind of went wonky.
Yeah.
So, can you like clarify the timeline for me? Are we still 50 years in the future?
As far as your character would know, yes.
Okay. Okay, cool.
Basically, you went directly from Conflux to Dragonstar, which has a completely different calendar, and then you went to the Dream. So you have no idea what actual year it is now, but you have no indication that it's not the same that you were on. So
Got it. Okay, that makes sense.
So,
All right.
So essentially, it's still 50 until you know otherwise.
Right, so we basically skipped 50 years in the future.
Well, you died, and then you were resurrected 50 years into the future, but yeah.
Yeah.
Like, think of Fry from Futurama. That's what happened to you.
Yeah, or like Walt Disney.
What?
What?
Uh-oh.
All right. So what are we doing?
Well, it sounds like Folly's going to Band. Band is or should be, whether or not it is, the stronghold of the Taladani.
Lovely. Seino, how much time do you think it's going to take for Folly to get all the way to Band?
Seino will shrug. I have no idea, as his chin becomes more solid, and he stands up a little straighter.
Oh my god, that voice is so much better. More of
I
that.
hate this one.
Yeah, so do I. I prefer Canadian.
Me too.
Maybe just
Okay,
shake
Arcadum
their
just
head.
simped out and changed the whole character.
Oh my god, dude.
Look at
Yeah, I
the
can't
guy.
change fucking voices. Alright, you know what? Now you're good. Hello, I am Seino.
Now he's Minnesotan?
Now I'm from Minnesota. And
That's
to answer your question, I don't know how far away it is in the dream, but it should be accessible.
Well, I meant, like, how long we might have to work on other things before we go to Folly.
Like I
Challa?
said, I don't know.
Well,
So what do we want to
know-
do then? Do we want to
know-
figure out what we're going to do here on the whole Dragonstorm situation, or go straight to Folly?
All right, I'm gonna do the Dragonstorm. You guys can choose, but I can't break my oaths, so I gotta go do that for our little boy here.
What does your oaths have to do with the Dragonstorm?
Making sure Gobbles is happy.
What were you saying, Challa?
Oh, it kind of runs contrary to what Irha just mentioned. But if the ultimate force of evil here is Folly, and Folly is heading to Band, and we don't know how to properly track Folly. Say they change direction, say they are forced to change direction. We wouldn't know. We can't luckily come across another pillar from a station that Folly would destroy and murder a bunch of people, or luckily get a message from a clown or a god. So we best take up this trail while we can. And Irha, I think what Effie is trying to insinuate is just as much as saving the dragon's storm, we can help the could help the dragons. Stopping Folly could also.
You
Help
don't
the
even know
dragons.
where that tunnel ends.
You're right.
For all
yeah.
we know, it could throw us back into where we came from.
Yes, Irha.
Can we just enter again?
But yes, Irha. But many the same can be said for many instances of transportation within the dream to the Dragonstorm and other parts of this place. No.
I
If we're
kind of
going
backs up
after-
from you. He just looks kind of like hurt by the choice that you're trying to take everyone to.
If we're going after Folly, which was created from potentially the most powerful wizard in history, and one of the most dangerous things in history, I would prefer to do it with the dragons at our back.
Hey, guys,
Yeah?
those things over there are moving.
Where are they
Good.
moving to?
I think those
Perception?
Yeah,
Haven't they
you
been
moved.
moving this whole time?
The big thing's on the other side over there.
Oh god.
What big guy?
Perceive what they're doing.
He's pointing to the two entities. on
Where
the
are
other
they
side.
moving to?
Oh, they're just moving a lot.
No, 12 tells me. They're just
Well,
moving.
you know, Sekleku's told me that two big guys might be hanging around where Folly fucked off.
I really didn't want to do this. Sue's gonna start praying out loud. Father Fear, we're at the tear in the dream. It goes right through the dragon storm. Folly created it. If you can hear me, we need your guidance.
Boy.
She says this out loud, doesn't she?
Yep.
Luka's gonna back up. Far away.
All right, so this thing right here, this whole area, suddenly goes. It just starts moving over here.
Soaring, flying.
It moves just a little bit before it stops. And, well, you will see a giant dark hand come in through the sphere and down into this.
Here, let me zoom out. I can actually see what you're doing.
Over here.
Okay, now I see.
And then the dark hand will appear here and will grab Sera.
Whee!
Well,
Where are you going?
Well, good riddance.
well, does she just get grabbed like
Yep.
a puff of dust, or does he just get yoinked? Like, what? Describe that.
She gets joinked through the ground here and disappears and then reappears here as the hand lets her down.
Yeah.
Effie's
Okay,
gonna try and
immediately-
follow her.
And then
Yeah.
hand goes back in and grabs Seino and then pulls him over there.
Before the
Luka
thing comes
starts
out,
to look at the ground, panicking a little bit.
did Sera look like she was getting grabbed acceptingly?
Oh yeah, she would have been. She would have waved a little tentacle if she went.
Okay. Challa will try and run up and follow Effie. in
Yeah, I'm
chasing
gonna
after.
be hip-hoppeting.
The rope. Challa's still holding the rope here. He'll
Yeah.
he'll try and
And
tie it to
Challa
himself
will
and
be
follow
grabbed
her.
next and will be pulled down into the dream.
The rope!
And the rope is attached to Effie and will pull her down with him.
Luka's like tried to bear himself around a
Maelie
tree
and
because he's
Irha,
looking at the
awesome.
ground.
Come here.
I love that Luka's just like running away.
And the hand appears.
He's just like,
Grab.
Did you just take us to the entity?
no. He literally just like tries to flail away, but he can't.
Ah! Just goes flying across the thing.
Just screams.
Sera's immediately dropped into a bow. She's in a pose of respect.
Alright, here we fucking go.
Never again.
Maybe a little warning next time.
She's got no respect.
All right, well, might be having some Foundry problems.
Refresh, I was too.
Yeah, I'm doing that now.
What's the foundry problem?
Just froze, so I'm just
Oh.
refreshing. Yeah, and I also still don't hear anything. So
The music just changed.
oh,
Okay. And so, as the party is pulled to the other side, two great entities will pierce through the outer sphere, kind of looking down on each of you. And you will see these two individuals.
oh,
Oh my god.
Luka immediately just
The
kinda-
one on the left, you will see
Hi.
is this. Okay, make me religion checks.
Can I do it at advantage?
Yeah.
religion.
Can I also
Religion?
do an advantage?
You're not from Kalkatesh, are you?
Everybody here's.
Oh, that's right.
Kalkatesh.
That's right. That's right. I'm thinking of Corvana stuff. Sorry.
Well, I was.
You're a Gregorian.
Thinking...
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're actually clergy. So. Sorry. So the one on the left looked like that, and the one on the right looks like this.
Oh, that's sick.
Oh, yeah.
The tiny elbow wing is highly uncomfortable. It looks gorgeous.
All right. As these two entities form themselves in front of you, you will recognize them for who they are. The twin brothers of the dream, the guardian of all the astral sea, Woad and Own. And here we go.
Effie curtsies to Own.
Well, brother, look at this. Travelers in the dream. Look at them, they're so cute. They are also trespassing. They should not be here, Brother Own. Oh, that's true. Wait, I recognize one of them. Have we seen her before? Yes, we have. The two of them will get a little closer. Like they're making extra sure.
She's still
Effie
bowing.
Points
She's not
to
hiding
herself,
from him, but she's
like-
looking respectful.
Like me?
Actually, we've seen a lot of these people. Yes, brother, it seems that we have. Tell me, those that wake, why are you within the dream? Did we tell them to come over here? They should still tell us why they are here specifically. Oh,
Here, look
right.
at Effie.
That makes sense.
She's giving Effie the significant look to see who's gonna be the speaker.
And then Challa steps forward and just stops speaking. We had a hand.
We're
Okay. We are here to stop folly and fix the dragon storm, great ones. And he gets down on his knees and prostrates in front of both of them.
So you know of the creature that has cut its swath through our dream. Yeah, that wasn't cool of him to do that. He woke a lot of people up really rudely in the middle of the night. It's not good.
he was released from the Twilight Station.
So the station has fallen, just as
It
we
has.
suspected, Brother Own. Oh, that's not a good vibe at all.
That's what Sekelq's told me.
Sekelq's? How is that old dog? It's been a while since we played our game.
Yeah, you know, I saw him in the Silvery Mirror.
There will be time for games later. Oh, all right. Talk to you later. Wink.
She nods.
In either case, if you know of this creature, then it seems that you have us at disadvantage. We were unaware of the creature that had cut its swath through the dream. Tell me of this folly and what you know of it.
Woad.
Use pictures if you can. I'm a visual learner.
And
Effie.
Own. When I was here last, one of the things I asked of Woad was what was the folly of Taladon. I now know what that is. It was a creature born of Taladon and the violet itself. And it seems to go by the name Folly. And that, she'll gesture behind her at the big terror, that is its doing. And it's going to the planet Band.
It would seem that your suspicion was correct, brother. The folly of Taladon was in reference to his creation, not the act. Yeah, I totally remember that. It was during one of your visions. Oh! Good!
On, for a visual representation, are you aware of what this creature Polly looks like?
No. Wait,
Would
is that a gnome? Hello. Oh! The gnome can think of it and I can see it.
Well, from what I understand, the two who released Folly from the Twilight Station are cowering behind us. It's the paladin and the other wizard.
Come
Maelie tips
forward.
her hat.
Challa will use the geisha kit to look like Folly to get a visual representation. This is what they look like.
Sera's also interested. What does Folly look like?
Whoa! Owen will take his tiny hands and will clap them together excitingly.
Oh my god.
This is what they look like, and then this is what I think they look like naked.
Do you just strip down in front of the Dream Brothers?
No, he did.
Oh, okay.
They wouldn't care, right? They wouldn't care.
They wouldn't, but still, it would be kind of weird.
No, Challa just is aware that Folly might have changed clothes since they last saw him, right?
Right.
Challa's not sensitive. It's not his dick.
Abby claps.
This is what Folly looks like.
Yeah.
And this is what he looks like naked.
Sorry, I left the echo on there.
Oh, I
No.
loved it.
Yeah.
It's great.
Does that help with the visual learning? He gives 2 thumbs up, as Folly.
Owen will say, "Ooh, he's quite handsome, wouldn't you say so, dear brother?" Yeah, he's alright. Oh, you were saying something to them. I don't want to interrupt your menace. Don't give him a little poke. You two, you stand before Father Fear. You have released a great darkness upon our world. It has already threatened the Dream and countless others that have been found in its wake. Explain yourself.
Maelie looks to Irha, wondering if she should speak or if he will.
Ira looks to Maelie and he's like, do you want to go first? Or do you want me to go first?
She,
He actually says it.
it's okay. We can just tag team it like before. So she
Got it.
tips her hat to Woden and Owen, and says, "Well, we did happen to meet Folly in the station, and out of the entire 6 of us, mind you," and she points to Sera. This one's a new addition, right? So we were the only ones who were awake enough to talk to him. And when we spoke to him, he told us a little bit about what he knew of his life. It struck us very deeply, being somewhat similar to our own. And we thought he should be freed for wrongful imprisonment. All he wanted was a chance to live life. It's true, he probably needs a little guidance. He needs to be taught what's what and how to handle himself. But we freed him because he deserved a second chance.
We take upon the burden of making sure that this does not continue, but he was not taught to dream, and he was not taught to live in the same way we were.
It was pity that stirred your souls then.
Most likely, sirs.
Pity and
Maelie
sympathy.
nods. Mm-hmm.
A foolish counterbalance. To create so much destruction over a single act of kindness. Might I remind you, dear brother, that is not unlike what has burst us. That is hardly the same. Is it really so different? Perhaps you are right, Brother Roan, but we cannot allow them to go unpunished. A great wrong has been made against the dreams of the people interrupted, now lie listless, sleepless. They have not earned their nightmares. This much is true, dear brother. This much is true. If you would allow me, I could take the lead on this one. You know that you are welcome to. What are you going to do? Well, hold on, I have to... Mortals. His own will float down towards you.
I almost can't take him more seriously. I'm so sorry. After his voice before and then him just going serious.
You have been enacted by the twin brothers of the dream with a task. You will seek out this folly and will bring him to us to answer for his crimes against the dream. And, if what you state is true, that this creature was denied the chance to dream, was denied that which is given to all sentient beings, then we shall see this wrong righted. And where there was once no dream, there shall be a dreamer. And he shall be given the same treatment that all the peoples of creation are given. However, if you find that this creature is unapologetic, possesses no regret, or does not wish to make right what has been wronged, then you are to deal with it with my brother's way. You are to destroy him. Do you understand?
Pinky promise, boss.
Thumbs up.
Good.
Maelie tips her hat.
Is he speaking just to Irha and Maelie or to the whole group?
He said mortals, which is all of you.
Okay.
How was that, brother? Very good job. Oh, thank you.
Do you have advice on how we would destroy something born from the violet?
The violet, although it no longer lingers within our world in the same way, the prism is still sealed by the best that my brother and I can recollect. But make no mistake, folly will possess powers beyond imagining. You must be properly prepared. Preparations will have to be made before you are ready to face him, and you will still need to find him. There is no guarantee that he is still within... Where was it that you said he went?
Band.
Indeed. There is no guarantee that he still lingers upon Band. Therefore, it would seem to me that the only method to ensure your victory is to instill you with the power that you need. Oh, here comes the best part! My brother and I will see that you have the strength and the guidance to make your way to Band.
You motherfucker.
What? I'm sorry. What was that? Sounds like some back
Say
sass.
that to a god.
Do you still require aid in the dream?
Well, we'll see about that. But first, my brother is right. You will need the power to face against the might of folly, and then you will need to be able to reach him. which we can both provide that aid, can't we, my brother? Indeed, brother. We can.
Excuse me, sirs.
Who speaks?
That was me. Maelie raises her hand. I would like a little bit of clarification, if it's not too much trouble.
Very well.
So, is this seeking out folly something we should be doing first then, before fixing the dragon? Alright, very good.
Obviously.
I thought as much. I just wanted to make sure it was said out loud. Second, on the Twilight Station, Irha especially, he went up to the computer. We noticed that there were, I suppose, other beings trapped there. We weren't very good at reading the system for ourselves. Effie was much better at that than we were, but there were other beings trapped there. Did they survive? Are they important?
My brother and I will have to investigate. Don't worry, we'll look into it.
All right.
A couple of questions, if I may.
Yes, servant of Sekulcuse.
First of all, big fan. You know,
Oh,
being
thank
a
you.
Gregorian of
Oh,
the,
thank you
of
very
the,
much. I do like my whimsy dreams.
Yeah, being of the Great Pantheon, you know.
Woad
She
will
gives a
roll
thumbs
his
up.
eyes.
Sera scoots closer to the other side.
First of all, question for you.
Yes.
When I saw Sekulcuse in the pool of silver,
Yes.
quite like your own mirror,
Yes.
he mentioned something about changelings and dreams and
Yes.
history. He
Uh-huh.
didn't elaborate, and I'm curious to know what if you knew what that was about.
Well, you're from the mirror realm.
The mirror realm.
Yes, well, technically all changelings are not from there, but are from there.
Oh, makes sense.
Yes. Does
She
that
dropped
answer your
down
question?
a note. I guess, but he mentioned somebody named Toman.
Oh yes, Tobin is your brother.
I thought all changelings were girls.
Yes, except one.
Oh,
Which is your brother. Who was the first changeling?
first changeling.
Yes.
Oh, jeez. She jots down notes.
Oh, by the way, have you been dealing with any of the nightmarish undulations of your mother's hatred for you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Good.
Second thing on the list. Sekulcuse told me that you owe him?
He will just blow a raspberry and a bunch of the dream will change. And then he will just say, Sekulcuse says a lot of things. Technically speaking, he owes me. He stole my brother's favorite toy. There is no... that happened eons ago. Oh, it was such a cute little dog. Its name was Barry. So, technically he owes us. But yes, I did gamble. A lot. At his house.
Well, I wouldn't be a good servant of Sekulcuse if I...
Are
did
you
that.
trying to shake me down? Oh, all right.
Yes.
Here's the money I owe him.
She curtsies.
He'll just drop 20 gold on the ground in front of you.
She scoops it up and plops one in her little necklace.
You see,
I
Woad?
thank you kindly.
I pay off all my debts. You still owe me quite a bit. That's not important.
And lastly,
Yes.
as a Gregorian of the Great Pantheon,
Uh-huh.
would it be okay if I were to call upon you if I have any needs?
That depends. Do you have whimsy in your heart?
I mean, look at me.
Let's
She
take a
does
look.
twirl.
He just looks into your heart. His
She does the, like, with arms wide open.
with arms wide open.
Under the sunlight.
Sorry, I did that as own.
That was sick.
He'll take a closer look and then he'll nod. Oh yes. You're a problem. You can call upon me anytime.
She finger crossbows. I thank you kindly. And woed.
Oh,
Also
look
big
at
fan.
did you see that? Did you see that image? Did you see what she did with her fingers? They're like crossbows. He'll start clapping.
That's all I have for you. I thank you kindly, both of you.
As I was saying, I will ensure that they have the might, brother. Can you find them a way there? Well, they have a loom. That will be helpful. But I suppose I could secure them a vessel of some kind. There's one on Dragonstar.
I also can fly them.
Indeed. Well then, we shall see it done.
Wode, if I may, you should be aware the dream is spilling into Dragonstar.
Yes, we are aware. Unfortunately, the anchors that enter the dream from the waking realm are supposed to be controlled, cared for, tended to, and neither have they been done so, which is why we limit who can enter the dream, but for some reason, for these past era, just keeps happening over and over again. Oh, you're just being a little sassy brassy. There's nothing wrong with a few people finding their way in. It's not like they did it on purpose. They did it on purpose. Well, yes, but we also told them to do that. Fine. In either case.
How do we fix the anchors?
Also, Sera, if I may. There were a couple of stones floating within the dream. Some big giant tablets with some draconic on it. And I guess that those were kind of important.
They hold the original laws of the dragons. I was trying to understand them, to understand what went wrong.
See any of those hanging around?
Well. You see the problem? Sorry, I'm eating some sweet tarts.
Oh, I love those.
The problem with the dream spilling into the waking realm is that there's no reversal. And dragons dream strangely. It would seem that the best method in order to prevent the dream from leaking into the waking realm on Dragonstar is to reset the dream. Indeed. The dream must be reset and the voices quieted. With that, there should be the lack of energy. And with that, you should be able to seal it again. And perhaps my brother and I can provide assistance.
Nodders.
Okay,
Then I
that's what you said.
suppose-
The what of energy? The lack of energy?
The backlash of energy that's kind of
Ah.
reversing through it, yeah.
Okay, got it.
And how would we do that?
Well, you'll need this. And Owen will drop a pearl on the ground in front of you.
She picks it up.
Please
and
be
looks at
careful
it.
with that. That is, well, that's a lot of dream energy placed into one singular thing. What you want to do is you want to find the focus point of the biggest tear in the dream and just throw it in there. If you do that, my brother and I will be able to seal the rift.
I suspect we know where it is.
You should be warned. With that much dream energy leaking into it, there is no doubt in my mind that nightmares have begun to focus upon it. It is unlikely that this point will be unguarded. So, you should be ready for a real fight.
She'll nod.
nods.
They nod in unison.
Yep.
Challa's ears really, he nods along with him, but his ears perk up particularly when they discuss resetting the dream. And when he gets his eyes on that pearl, They kind of glaze over in a flashback almost. If we're all done on that discussion, I have if you do not mind, I have a slight personal note to ask these great ones. And he looks around to his party for permission.
I have one
Thumbs
more
up.
topic. She'll look at Wood. I'll follow up on Primus. She'll wave a hand towards Challa. Go ahead.
Ira nods towards Challa.
He'll step forward, subtly, slightly. There is a being. This is a matter of deep and personal importance, and you mustn't need to go into too much of a detail if you do not wish to, but he's hesitating, he's sort of mumbly as he says this, but he eventually gets out that I worship a great being, known as the Great One. He giggles at that. Awkwardly. Do either of you know of such a being or where they are at the current moment? A being of blue and red flame. Prophet.
You know its name?
I don't normally say it.
Well, it would be helpful.
Can't you simply see into my mind? Can I?
Well, we can, but we don't do that without permission. That would be rude.
He sighs and he looks around and he's held this back at this point as he's it's a personal matter he hasn't wanted to divulge in front of his party. Well, the one I followed was the Autumn of Ina.
Oh, Inu, the Lord of Life. Brother, his servant is before us. We have not seen an Inuit in some kind. I do not sense that you are a weaver. Have you stood at the shattered gate? Have you gazed upon him?
He shows his arms and the tattoo. Do you mean these?
Oh, he bears the mark of the covenant. He's a cardinal. We have not seen a cardinal in some time. Excellent. If you seek an audience with your Great One, if you seek an audience with Inu, you will have to seek him out at the Shattered Gate. And to do that, you need to be able to travel the Astral Sea.
He kind of falls into elation, right? Like he starts smiling, almost tearing up at the corners of his eyes, and I think they'd even stream out down the side with a strong flow. As of yet, he hadn't confirmed the existence of his deity, and he struggled and fought and followed along this time, believing it was such, and now it's becoming apparent. He's usually one for words, and now they're not quite coming to him as easily. Oh, blessed, oh, blessed. Yes, the Shattered Gate, the Astral. They spoke of all these things, and I hadn't thought I'd come into contact with them in my lifetime. I don't mean to be obtuse at this important juncture, but how do I do these things? And he kind of gets down and he looks at them with, not empathetic, that's the wrong word, but begging eyes.
Well. First you have to get there. You'll need a way to travel the Astral Sea, or a way to access it. I think some of the gates have been fixed, have they, brother? Some of them, yes. but they are scattered throughout all creation. You'll have to find one if you want to go there instantaneously, or an alternate path of going there the old-fashioned way.
Is there a way I can sense them out, or will I have to find their location through recommendations?
Well,
Discussion.
we could send them, couldn't we, brother? I suppose we could, but that would take you far, far out of way of dealing with the problem at hand.
Oh, Challa fumbles across his body, and he pulls out the compass Luka gave him. Can you mark them on this device?
All right, as you pull out the compass that Luka gave you. Oh boy, here we go. It would seem that Owen and Woad look at the compass. And you will see the two of them exchange glances. Well, well, well. We haven't seen one of these in a long time, have we, brother? We have not. That is no ordinary compass in your hand.
His eyes flicker to Luka, and then back to them, and he wipes his eyes.
Tell me,
What?
where did you get it? Where did you get it? Sorry, I wasn't the attic.
From this one, and he whistles and calls over Luka. Luka?
Luka stiffens, now suddenly being cold.
Peter couldn't possibly look more smug at this point.
Everyone's looking at you, Luka.
What? What do you want?
Where did you, perchance, where did you get this compass?
I bought it for you.
From?
Back in the market.
Well, we
Ridge
bought it
Row?
from...
Yes.
On Conflux.
Yes.
A Confluxian Bazaar.
How whimsical! You purchase a seemingly inane object to find out its great import! That's hilarious! It is quite humorous, brother. Shall you tell them what it does? Oh, I can? Oh, I love explaining things. That is what is known as a wayfinder! Woo-hoo! No? You don't know what that is?
Is that almost like a Waymaker?
What? No.
Challa smiles.
Imagine naming something Waymaker.
I know, right?
Gee, just imagine.
Oh, I've heard of these. They mentioned it once. The great. I was.
I will explain.
Mhm.
A wayfinder is a special compass, one that is attuned to the astral sea. You'll need one if you want to find your way without the assistance of an angel. It'll let you find what you're looking for in the astral sea once you know the coordinates, naming convention, or even the desire to see such a place. It's very powerful.
That is why I can never trust the directions. Challa's reconstituting confidence in his navigating skills, and yes, on. Without an angel, I'll find these locations.
It's like that moment in therapy when you suddenly understand the last 20 years of your life.
Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't me. It was him the whole time. I was gaslit by the compass. Fuck.
I have one additional question, Challa, if you're taking a pause.
He holds the compass. He turns around. You see this tear-covered Challa face. Snort bubble rips, pops. He wipes it off with the cloth around his neck. Yes, Effie.
She grimaces a little bit and then looks at Owen and Woad. When we were all back on Conflux, there was a problem with the dream. I was able to do something and there was a smidge of connection. Can you tell me, has the dream been restored?
That was you?
I guess.
Once
I did that, I felt my connection to Seclocuse.
Oh. He didn't tell us that, brother. Yes, imagine that. The god of thieves lying to us, or not telling us the full truth. He's so silly. But yes, there is still a connection to the dream there. It is weak, timid, thin, but there.
I'm glad to hear that. I think dreaming was one of the things I missed most on Conflux.
Owen will just nod sagely at that.
I was just gonna gently pat Challa on the shoulder to help the boy out.
Is there
Why
anything
does-
else you want to do, Zahaab?
Why does that one hide from us?
Luka looks away like he's pretending that he's not talking about him.
Oh,
He's
he
a
doesn't
little
like
shy.
gods. He does not like gods.
Fear stirs the pot. He is a cleric that ignores the gods. He doesn't see your value.
Heavy nods.
Woad will look at Owen, and Owen will look at Woad. Atheists.
It is not that I am an atheist. It's because that I have been failed by you many times.
By who?
Gods. All
Which
manners
ones?
of speaking. All. Any that I've tried to contact before.
Such as?
I've heard nothing. Any from the Grey Pantheon, any from the White.
Did you pray to each of them?
I
Pray
prayed.
to Seclocuse.
I have before, but I never did before in front of you.
Let me
And I
ask
heard
you a
nothing.
question. In your world, if you just sent a letter to anyone in particular, would anyone get it?
If I sent a letter to everyone, wouldn't you think at some point someone would respond?
Not if you don't have an address.
I wasn't aware that every god had a specific address when you prayed to them.
Of course we have homes.
Did you say phones?
I said homes. Homes, like places to live.
So I can just walk into your home, pray, and hope to hear
Oh
something?
no! What? Do you do that with a letter? No. Allow me. If you lack the wherewithal to pray to an appropriate deity on the appropriate terms that are required to contact that deity, how could you possibly expect anything else? If you send a letter in your world and you have no address, you don't go into the person's home and give it to them, do you? It sounds like to me that your ingress versus deetic intervention is that they cannot hear you, for you don't even know whom you are speaking to.
If I was to pray regardless, with the full intention of contacting whoever is on the other side, how strong I have, how can I know everything? All I can send is a prayer and hope that they listen catch a wind of it in whatever winds that exist.
So you're saying that the reason that you don't believe in deities or their power is because you would send prayers, irregardless of terms, and no one responded, so therefore they must be uncaring?
How would you feel if you tried? If you tried everything that you could, and no one responded.
I would try something else.
Which is what I did.
Interesting. Foolish. But fine. Keep to your close-minded views. My brother and I answer any prayer given to us in its appropriate manner. You've never prayed to us. Well, there was that one person that I wasn't able to get to in time. What? Who? You know. Exquisitine. We've dealt with that family too many times. They're
Luka
always in
laughs to
trouble.
himself. How can I rely on the gods? And he whispers this to himself. How can I rely on the gods that can't even answer every prayer?
We can hear you.
Owen answered mine when I entered the dream.
You're speaking in the dream. We can hear everything you're saying. Enough!
Glitter rolls his eyes.
I will not deal with the sass of this mortal and its terrible haircut.
I'm beginning to believe that people in this world just do not have any sense of style with long hair or curly hair.
Yes, it's everyone else's fault. That's wise to think of. Anyway, we have more important things to deal with.
Speaking of important things, I do have a question. As much as I wish that I don't have to, but it's something that concerns the dragons.
As Luka interrupts Woad, his brother's effect of whimsy is starting to quickly wear off.
I noticed that within the Dragon Dream, there's a lot of hatred. And I met something recently.
Oh dear.
That seems to stem from a lot of hatred. And told me that there's a lot of, first time that they've met a conduit. And apparently I'm such thing. And I would like to know what that is. And if doing this or pushing towards it would help with folly.
All of those that follow your path are conduits for your open Leylenic connections to the deitic energies that surround the way of the divine. The gifted powers of their in and their out can flow through any conduit. This does not make you exceptional or special, simply what you are. You are an open valve that such energies can move through. And if you possess the proper wherewithal and wisdom, perhaps that power can be used to what you wish for. Folly will be needed to be dealt with, and if you believe that you can control such power, then perhaps you will be able to do something about it. But I don't see that before me. I see something else. Arrogance. No, not arrogance. Self-pity. You wallow in that loathing, the sorrow. It emanates off of you in equal waves. If you wish to walk in my presence anymore, you shall do so with respect, or I shall destroy you and find a replacement. Do you understand?
Luka doesn't frown, but tries to hide his scowl, as he knew exactly that this was the type of response that he would get.
I can see your mind, child. You have no trick over me.
To make one a self-fulfilling prophecy and to be walking about with your smugness that you were right is exactly the problem. If you play stupid games, then you will win stupid prizes.
So, in this domain, of course I would respect whatever rules that you have.
You've respected nothing since you got here. You stand apart from your companions. You interrupt me and disdain my brother and I's entire focus. If you long for death, I will grant it to you.
Kill me, then. Improve me.
All right, Luka is dead.
This proves my point.
No, it doesn't. What the fuck? They answered your prayer finally.
Yep.
Oh.
Easy
Play
clap.
stupid game. Win stupid prizes.
He did have a daemon attached to his soul, Woad. Sera looks around. I don't
am
believe
aware.
it. Do you know if it went back to who I served?
It is
Or
destroyed.
elsewhere? Well, that time bomb's finally over.
Oh.
Primus is defeated, Woad.
I have heard.
I do not know where his ball stream is at, however.
Hold on. Brother. They will need that man's assistance.
They will not need a fool to walk with them that doesn't even know when to hold his tongue before the presence of a deity that he insults. How could they possibly use someone so unwise?
But you saw all of his heart, did you not? Did you not?
It is proper that I have given him what he wished for.
Such things are not the way. We've spoken about this.
Ira raises a hand.
Yes?
Don't mean to interrupt the debate, but Woe did say that Luka didn't know what he wanted, so heeding the request maybe not have been in the best divine consciousness, you know?
Your snorts.
Listening to a madman, kind of...
We can always find another cleric.
Hey, Sera.
I think that it's not proper. After all, they will need them.
We can find another. It is not that difficult.
No. They have been bound by...
Brother,
They have been bound by camaraderie. Besides, do you not sense it? This is one of those souls.
fine. I will listen to your whimsy this time, brother. But that disrespectful soul had better learn its place.
I shall speak to it.
Sera grimaces that he comes back near her.
All right. Luka, you have spent what is essentially within your mind an entire year inside of a shadowy prison. None of it was pleasant. It was terrible.
When he comes back, is it like, how does that feel?
Sensory deprivation, I'm assuming.
Correct.
Like, senses. Just so many senses all at once.
Oh yeah, it's overwhelming.
What's it like in the prison? Well, besides it being terrible.
Well,
what
it was
example?
inky blackness, and every single mistake that you ever made, and every single conversation that you have replayed in your head constantly, but from the perspective that other people had.
Well, whose perspective? And everybody's perspective?
Yeah, each one, every other person's perspective.
So he knows how everybody else feels.
Well, at least
Or-
to the extent that you could learn from it, yes. You don't know things that you don't know, but you know things that you could perhaps have emoted from the situation. Imagine if you could have had every conversation that you've ever had, but with the hindsight of what its effects would have been. It isn't so much that you know exactly what the other person was thinking. It doesn't work like that. It's more so that you're able to relive every other single pathway that it could have been that way.
Okay. Kind of lost in that, but...
Okay,
I
so
think
essentially
I'm
like this. You had an argument with somebody. You believed you were right, and you found out later that you were wrong, right? But you had to go through that argument with the knowledge that you were wrong and watching yourself do it over and over and over again, right? Except that you'd also see what would happen if they were right, and then what would have happened if the next person was wrong. And then basically going through every scenario of every situation that you have been in that regard over and over again.
Unlimited cringe.
So that sort of stuff. So basically, overthinking to the maximum.
It's you are completely self-aware of everything that you are doing, but you do not have the power to change it.
Okay, I think I'm getting it now.
Yes. Okay.
Well, Luka comes back and he just takes like a gulp of fresh air, like he hasn't been able to breathe in eternity.
Your scowls and moves further away, closer to Woad.
All right. As Luka returns, Woad will look down.
My brother has saw fit to release you from your punishment. I would suggest that you thank him.
Well, Luka side-eyes him, but then looks at Own, and gives like a small nod in ways of thanks.
You see, respect has been earned. Now you and I are gonna have a little talk, okay? We're gonna talk about all those sassy frassies, little clericy stuff inside that brain hole of yours, alrighty?
But not now, in front of all these people. That would be kind of embarrassing. So I'm going to plant myself in your brain.
What? Okay. Oh.
Hooray! Now I'm in your brain.
Okay. Wait. Okay. Never mind. Keep
See,
going.
watch. Hooray!
Am I talking to you in my brain? Like
You
is
can.
he-
Go ahead. Say something.
Okay. My point was proven, but I still thank you for bringing me back.
What point is that? You see? I can speak to you in there.
There's so much echo. I'm sorry.
Oh, let me try it this way. Hooray! See?
Okay.
See?
So, going to talk to me?
Oh, not right now. No. There's more plot to go over. I mean, never mind.
Okay.
Brother! Help me! All right, enough of this. You have been given your task. You will fulfill it. Are there any questions?
You said that we should be getting a vessel of some sort?
Yes, you will need a vessel in order to travel the astral sea, which you can find within Dragonstorm. It should be accessible through the dream. The largest leak was within their capital of Drakenholm. Go there and use my brother's pearl to seal it. And from there we can assist you in finding the vessel.
She looks at Sera.
We know exactly where that is. It will be done.
Good.
It will, most definitely. And great thanks for finally directing my absolution. In response to that, all shall be done, just as you wish. He turns to the rest of his party, realizing who he's with, as close to as possible of what you wish.
Sirs? Excuse me?
Yes, the one in the hat.
Yes. When we get to Bond and we find Mr. Folly, to convince him to come back here, are we supposed to try and enter the dream again, or is there some way to contact you? Could you please give us instructions for that part of the quest?
Just sleep.
Or, I see. So, we need to get Folly to sleep? Does he even sleep?
No, you need to sleep to tell us things.
I see. Maelie looks a little perplexed and weirded out by that, but she just nods.
Wait, does Folly sleep?
Maelie face palms.
Maybe?
Okay.
If the creature is unaware of the dream and unconnected to it, then it might be that it does not sleep. You may need to seek other methods. Knock him out! Just hit him on the noggin. Bonk, like that. Just little pop.
Pop. Exactly as instructed.
Here gets a rare smile.
Challa starts shadowboxing with on.
Own. Would it be helpful to pray to you with some updates?
Well, you can, but prayers are delayed in the dream because that's the cross-law escape. That's why dreaming's just easier.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Lord, I have one final item. There has been 3 interruptions, wrongdoings to the dream. If I find more, what is my best method to address it?
Report and stay away from them. Unfortunately, or rather fortunately, we have those beings that can deal with such breaches. Although they are currently busy, we have our own nights to deal with such things. You should stay focused on the task at hand.
All right. Thank you for your knowledge and guidance. She'll give another tentacle bow. She'll back up a little bit too, signaling she's ready to go.
Well then, if there are no more questions, these are good.
Oh.
Sorry, I forgot about my god voice.
I'm picturing them eating the fruit that Luka saw in the trees.
This is really good.
Just imagining Owen just handing his brother, like poking his brother with the food, and then Owen just finally takes it and starts eating it.
Yeah, exactly. Profound. Thank you.
Effie is looking up at Owen, and she does like the thumb magic trick where it looks like you're taking off your own thumb. Goodbye.
I can do that too. His limbs come off.
Whoa. God. Wild magic.
Effie, you just got one-upped. I don't think I see that too often.
Sera, come rip my arm off.
We're forgetting something. Aren't we, brother? Yes, they will need power if they are to face these creatures. They shall be granted it. Shall we, brother? Oh, here comes the best part!
Whee! Do they dance? Please tell me they
Oh
do.
my god.
I do a
They
fusion
do a
dance.
jig.
We can dance if we want to. We can leave your friends behind.
And the brothers open their hands and point them towards you. Energy from the dream begins to course through each and every single one of you, flowing with power and potential. Your bodies feel stronger, your minds feel sharper. And I grant you level 6.
Yay!
Yay!
Finally.
Whoa.
Honestly, I think it was worth the wait just getting to see Woden and Owen do a little jig and point
Oh,
their
it was.
fingers, do like a little light show dance.
So when are we getting level 7?
Oh my gosh, Effie.
Okay, good luck, bye!
Bye!
Maelie tips her hat in farewell.
Effie curtsies.
Oh, he always
Luka
does this.
crosses
I'm
his
coming
arm.
too.
You too.
What are you saying, Challa?
Oh, they said good luck. I said you too. They look like they need some. They look a bit stressed for deities.
Effie,
And
you
now I
came
find
here.
myself roped into this.
You could have been dead.
You were
I
dead.
was dead. No thanks
And-
to you two.
What do you mean no thanks to us? You're the one that hates the gods.
You're the one who
I
told them
wasn't
to
the
kill
one
you.
who told them that I was not about the gods. You didn't have to say that.
They already
Mhm.
knew.
They see everything inside of us, Luka.
The point
You
is,
cannot
it still isn't your place to say it. It's
You
Luka's
can-
place.
You cannot
Sorry.
deny that there is some instigation there. Challa sighs in the fact that they've returned to this.
If you wanted to get rid of me, then you should have just said it to my face.
I would like you to leave, Luka.
Luka is not leaving.
I do not know what level of disdain that you have for me, for whatever reason that seems clearly unfounded. But I'm not here for it.
Refuse to understand yourself. And your
I am
refusal
trying to understand
us damage.
myself. I am trying to do that. I don't know if you understand that I am trying, but you seem to think that I'm not. That I'm some sort of ignoramus, just wandering around.
Yes.
Well,
That's
for someone
exactly
who
what I
says
think you
that,
are.
like, for someone who sits there and blames us for not wanting to get to know them, you didn't even try to get to know me. So, why
I
don't you
did
just look
try.
at yourself?
You
You did
refused.
not. You never did.
So
First
when
thing
I
you said
asked
to me
you-
when I woke up was that you did not want to be around someone like me. So excuse me for not wanting to be around you as well, because you've already seemed to hold some sort of prejudice against me for no founded reason.
There is a daemon, Luka. The same one I tried to talk to you about that you dismissed. The same one I've talked to you about a second time that you dismissed. And the same one that is still there, right there. She'll point at Keotan on her shoulder. That obviously you have not made peace with.
And like I've said, I've known about him. I've tried to contact him. You've only talked to me about him that one time, no other time. So this thing with Keotan, I'm still trying to figure out. And if you just do not like the fact that he is part of me that is of not some choice of my own, I did not wake up in this body. I did not choose to be tied to him. I'm trying to figure that out. I'm trying to understand what this relationship between me and him is.
I suspect he doesn't wish to be tied to you after your choice ended both of your lives.
Maybe stop being a hypocrite, Sera, and just go over to Effie. Like, just go away. Go away for a little bit. All right?
If you actually want to be helpful, then you would have actually tried to do something that would have been actually not
What would help
bitchy.
you, Luka?
I don't think you actually want to help me. That's what I'm trying to get from you. So asking for your help feels like a moot point now. So why don't we just move on? I'll figure out what this is. Would you help me, though?
I have every reason to. I have been
I
trying
feel that
to.
that's otherwise.
It seems you do not understand my methods.
Because your methods do not make any sense. You sit there and say that you want to help me, but then you steer clear from me at any chance you get. I see what you do.
And this
all the
seems like
time.
the most opportune time. She'll walk up, and she'll say over her shoulder towards Seino, Seino, can you keep this space? She'll gesture around them. Protected.
Kyra puts his hand in front of Luka like Sarah's gonna harm him.
I mean, I guess I could if you really want me to. I could try.
We need to have a conversation with Kayotan.
No, we don't. You need to stop talking about this, and we need to go deal with our thing first, and then when we're not in the dream, we can hash this out. But right now, it's way too dangerous for that.
I agree.
No, we can deal with this now, since this seems to be a problem.
Kayotan is right here.
So let's deal with it.
If you two wouldn't mind a little space.
No.
Just a little bit.
No.
It's fine, Irha.
Luka, I know something probably happened, and you might be feeling it right now, but this is not the time. Like, I know it's important to you, and I want to be there to support you, but the dream is dangerous.
Luka's gonna inside him, just for 1 second. What does an 11 tell me about Irha's current attitude?
Irha is like, well, you can tell that it's way different than normal Irha, and he's like really worried about you. Just like super worried about you and wanting you to actually just have some rest and comfort before jumping right into more stress.
Well, what other time will I have to do this? We're going to be coursing through this dream anyway, so might as well do it now.
We'll set aside some time, I promise. We'll set aside some time after we leave the dream to go head to wherever we need to throw the pearl. We'll give you as much time as you want to hash this out, just not in the dream.
Irha, why don't you ask Kayotan what he wants?
Why would I care what Kayotan thinks? Luka is my friend. Luka is the one I'm worried about. I don't give a shit about whatever you guys are discussing right now. Like the other dude, I'm more worried about Luka. And you are not caring about anyone in this party but yourself, Sera. You're constantly pinning everyone against each other.
You see, Luka?
Oh, don't turn this against us, Sera. Not anymore. Luka, if it's up to you, and this is for sure what you want, and you're not being bullied into it, then sure, I'll stand by it. But I don't think I'll give as much space as Sera wants. We're right here to back you up, you know.
Stay inside the bubble, just not looming over Luka.
Irha holds out his hand to Luka to see if he'll take it.
Luka looks at Seino for a moment. Do you think this is a good idea right now? To do this in the dream?
Oh, God.
Hold on, I need to think. I would much rather prefer the player answer this, but...
We can text him. He said he'd be available.
He might be, but his phone situation, but we can message and see if he might have battery.
Seino will say, well, getting really emotional in a dream means that emotional things can happen. I can keep things stable, but, you know, if it gets really bad, I don't know.
We have to go through the darkness.
Whoa, who are you the one to talk about this? What do you mean we have to go through the darkness? Who are you to tell the party what to do? You just got here.
Mm-hmm. Do either of you understand, fiends?
Why? You didn't even answer my question. Why should I
I'm
answer
answering
your question?
with
You're
a
not.
question.
Oh my god. That is. I don't. This is why. This is why we don't tell you anything, Sera. This is why we don't entrust you with information. You're just so cryptic about everything.
Irha, I am half fiend. I am on the arm of a devil.
Should we hate you then?
Them.
Should we be pointing fingers and pitchforks at you? I don't get it.
You were asking me why I am the one to help Luka. The answer is with your own eyes, because I understand them the best.
That is the dumbest shit I've ever heard, Sera. You are not Luka's friend. You cannot help Luka because you do not know him deeply. This isn't about the demon that's attached to him. This is about Luka and our friend, our teammate.
I see. So you haven't helped him because...
Because he hasn't needed our help. If he needs it, he'll ask. He's part of the team.
Well, Luka, you said you wanted help.
And I want to get this over with.
The choice is yours, Luka. Who do you want to help you?
You two stand back. This might be over quick.
Irha looks so disappointed.
I need to figure this out. He's been a part of me for a long time, and I do not want to continue not knowing where this is going to go.
As you wish.
All right. Sera will look at Moto. Moto, I intend to simply talk to him. You have other thoughts?
Well, hey, you, curly head.
I have a name, you know.
Yeah, I know, but I'm cute.
Moto, you're 9 foot tall right now.
So?
Cute is not the right adjective.
Alright, whatever,
What do you want to say to Luka?
I don't care about your human, immortal outlooks of beauty. Anyway, my point is, I know who you are. I've licked your face. You remember that, don't you?
Yes. It was more my hand, actually.
What's the difference? Anyway, point is that, look, I think that all of them should be here. Because whatever this thing is, it's connected to you. So why not have them involved? I mean, why? Why not?
Wait, who? I'm sorry.
Those two. Them! No, point at...
Oh, Maelie and Irha.
Like, why? Why ask them to leave? That seems silly to me.
I didn't ask them to leave. I asked them to not loom.
Yeah, I know you didn't ask, but I'm asking why Luka told them to stand back. Look, it doesn't matter. My point is this, right? If we're gonna do this, then you're gonna need something to anchor you here, right? You're gonna need something to remain who you are, so that if we summon this thing, this devil daemon out of you, that it doesn't just take you over. In the dream, it'll be at its full strength. Well, at least mentally, its full strength. You get what I mean?
Well, now with that information, that might change things.
You can't lose sight of who you are, Luka. From what I can tell, what I can physically see is there are 2 of you inhabiting the same soul. I understand that from a marriage perspective, but not what you have woken up into. You need to keep a hold on who you are.
Luka sighs. Then not here, then. If he's too powerful mentally, I'm not too sure if I'll be able to hold him back. I
You
don't
don't
even
need
know
to
how much
hold-
power he has. So,
You don't need to hold him back, per se. I think you two need to understand each other. You need to understand what the desires, the ambitions, and come to an agreement. You are sharing the same soul. And so that one is not constantly constantly domineering the other. You have to learn to share without losing sight of who you are. I
Says the
saw
person who
you.
doesn't share anything.
I saw you summon, give way to him before, and he was civil. He helped us in a fight, in a trial. It wasn't even for our lives. So I believe he is reasonable. He also agreed when I spoke with him earlier. So I believe he is reasonable.
I also have that inkling feeling when I spoke to him for the first time. He promised a conversation the first time I met him, and I would like to still have that conversation. But it probably won't be here then.
If he serves who I serve, he will hold his promise.
Then let's get out of here. I don't want to take the risk.
Would you like me to ask him if he wants to have that conversation now?
Stop pressuring him. Stop. He said no. He means no.
We
Sera
can do
ignores
that
Luka.
once we get... Ignore him?
Oh, sorry. Ignores Irha. Sera ignores Irha. She keeps her gaze on Irha. Oh my god. On Luka. Sorry, guys.
I know I'm just
Whoa!
too handsome. Can't look away.
We'll do it once we get to Dragon Home. Or out of here.
All right.
We need to get moving.
She'll hold out her hand to Luka. I'm glad you asked for help.
Luka looks at her hand and then looks into her eyes and tries to gauge how genuine she's being.
She's 100% genuine. What you see back is just the same unnerving, pupilless green eyes.
Gross.
He slowly and gingerly clasps her hand. And I hope this comes to some fruition.
I will do what I can to help you learn how to live with who you are. My own journey was fraught. I hope I can help yours be less so. Now, shall we find where Effie and Challa went?
Of course. I know they went off somewhere.
Sera will loop herself back into Moto and she'll just follow Seino. She's done the whole time.
Meanwhile, back at the edge, with their legs dangling off the side.
Yeah. So, we had a bunch of side talk, but I think do we just start from the start, or do we continue from chat?
We can just continue.
Yeah, just
I guess.
continue. Well, you got a
Okay.
little time before they walk over here.
Yeah. 1 second. 1 second. I want to find the exact word that I wrote. It will instigate this. Okay. Effie.
Yeah.
That being said, I do need to extend an apology to you for not clarifying one of my actions.
There's nothing
As
to
we-
apologize for.
As we discussed something, and you had asked me about the urban ranger activities I had done in my past life, I vanished. Not as a sign of disrespect, but in utter fear of the dream Okay. Unlike the others, I do have unlike the others, you could strike me. You may be the only one I know that could strike me to such a chord that I send ripples of emotion through the dream. I do not wish to cause the harmonics of this place to unravel and attack us. So I had to disappear at that moment, in fear of being overwhelmed in my own emotion. Apologies for not clarifying this to you earlier. I did not mean anything by it.
It's okay, Challa, but what do you mean by such emotion?
Sorry, I missed that.
I'm sorry if I've wronged you.
No. No such thing was done. No wronging. You perfectly right to ask such things. Just an off-guard memory can capsize the mind and affect one's actions. My time as an urban ranger, I saw. I wouldn't say I did a good job, as you was implying. I was told I was good at it, but there was a few travesties, including my own initial death, that occurred due to my oversights. As such, I was quite confident in you not taking me along. Sera and her magics did seem more apt. That is all.
But I wish I would have taken you. I think that, well, now that we're going back to Dragonholm, we could use you more than ever now. But when I was there initially, I knew I should have brought you.
And now I feel reaffirmed and confident I'll be able to not repeat my past mistakes. I'll stay aware and primed. But, Effie, please, as we both need to pilot this ship together, please give the others a moment or a chance. They've been struggling a lot, and I think thanks to you, the pool, many of their own decisions, they're beginning to right their way. And no doubt, due to the scenario we're in, we'll need them more than ever.
What do you mean by give them a chance? Give them a chance with me? Give them a chance with their emotions? What do you...
There are explanations, there are requests or requirements for understanding your actions.
Challa, they're always going to have a problem with my actions. Always.
Agreed. At least in part in the way we do things. But there was a certain balance that was struck with how much you were giving and how much they were taking. And Sera, a deep, powerful, useful tool and ally to us, has broken this equilibrium. I think in order to find another one, you must put forth at least some effort. If not for their good, their own lives we're risking in this moment. A tiny bit, I think, could go a long way here.
Well,
at least with Maelie.
I think here's the thing, though. Nobody has taken the time to understand who Sera is. She is blunt. She has nothing to hide. She knows what she wants. And I think that the group, the rest of them, don't understand that and take it as being rude or belittling.
I think the rudeness and belittling comes from calling everyone else imbeciles, and the rudeness and the belittling is why they think that. I don't think it has anything to do with her actions. I do think she contradicts the operation of the party by willing to sacrifice or go give up, sacrifice, give up, and play into another party members' disadvantage, in which we've never really done before or accepted. Especially you, Effie. You've never accepted such a thing.
Well, I think things changed, Challa. I think after being belittled by our entire group for so long, I think things have changed for me. I still care for the rest of the party. I do. I just don't really care how they view me anymore.
I understand. And I'm not saying you must. This is not me commandeering or instructing you. I know nobody, let alone I, could do that without failing miserably. But I know the changings have occurred. But perhaps their belittling was a naive sense of insight on their part. One in which I think it will not take much for them to realize and compensate for in the future. Again, if not for them, then your own benefit. They're coming now. Do you have anything else to say?
She holds a hand out to Challa. I can't
Challa. Sorry.
pilot the ship without you. I need you.
Challa bypasses the hand and gives it a little hug.
She hugs him back.
All right, and at that point, the rest of the party walks up, right in the middle of that hug. Whoa, what's going on over here?
Hello.
You guys done arguing?
Probably
For
not.
now.
Can we save the world now?
I think Luka and I have come to terms. She'll look at Luka.
He'll look at Sera and nod.
I have a question, Arcadum.
Yes.
Do we know about the 7?
Okay, so anybody from Calcatesh, of course, knows about the 7, Heroes of Creation, all of that. Your particular transition from your convergence, since you're all previous Conflux characters, is that it was during the time of that era. It was during the time of the Violet's approach that all of your characters disappeared. You just disappeared from your old lives, and you woke up 50 years into the future in a new, like on a different continent.
But we know about like the heroes and
Yeah, you know about the 7, and you know about
Okay.
the Heroes of Calcatesh and stuff like that.
Okay,
But you know very little about the Violet, as that's kind of the point.
got ya. Okay. You guys, I think I've come to a realization being in the presence of, I guess, 3 gods in the last however long we've been here.
Mm-hmm.
Does put things in
strange.
perspective, doesn't it?
Our needs are less than what the world needs.
Yes.
And we can bicker amongst ourselves. We can. What is that going to solve? Nothing.
Hopefully, an embracement of true power. That's
Setting
what I
aside
wanted for
time to
everyone here.
understand each other is better for us in the long run, I promise.
How?
First of all, we
Folly
won't.
has been-
If we're fighting amongst each other and we go fight Folly, how is that going to work if we don't trust each other to have each other's backs?
Sounds like a personal problem.
Or even, if you don't trust us to do as we've always done, you know?
Indeed.
At that point, it's not personal. At that point, it involves everybody. Because, like it or not, we're stuck here together.
We are stuck here together, and we've always had each other's backs.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, it's been how much time since the Twilight Station happened? And Folly has been getting away this entire time. We still have to go to Drakenholm. We still have to fix what's wrong there, and we still have to get in the ship and go after.
And we still aren't prepared to fight Folly. Do you want to just go out there and throw yourself to his feet and die in the process? If we don't come together, if we can't do this, who else is going to be there to stop him?
I'd honestly like a trance diplomacy, please.
And I think a good middle ground here, though I do hate those, is simply the basic state of the party. We mustn't kill, maim, or exile each other, or any other member of the party. Luka, that includes you murdering yourself, which is completely uncalled for. And Sera, mustn't exile others. That is not how we operate.
We spend way too much time bickering amongst each other and not enough time.
And while I agree with you,
Because no one's
Challa,
listening.
you were the
Well-
one to propose that I ship her into the dream unleashed. Don't think I haven't forgotten that.
Which part?
That
The part where Challa suggested that I let Luka go, untethered, into the dream.
You suggested that?
What?
It's well I
front-
had you
in front of
secured,
you, yeah.
Luka.
Oh, to go kiss the I wasn't there.
Yes, that was fine. Again, Sera, there is
How
some
would you do that?
sentiment.
Who cares? Let's.
Yeah, why does any of this matter? That has nothing to do with the
I
discussion.
believe it
okay?
lines right up with your statement that we should not exile, hurt, or maim others.
Well,
Is
there
that
was no
not what you
sense
were
of-
asking for?
When a problem is faced, one must think of ways to accomplish and arrange for their own solution. However that
Challa, I think
happens,
a
no,
simple
regardless
apology
of
would
what
suffice.
happens, it is an attempt to solve the problem at hand, as Effie is indicating. What you are doing was wasting time trying to exile, kick out, and do whatnot to Luka, knowing it would not succeed. And look now, you've come to a different, more amicable solution. That is what I'm pointing out. That
Sera
is the
just looks
time waste that's a
puzzled.
problem.
I think the time waste is that you're not recognizing your mistake and apologizing to Luka. I am fine
Me and Luke-
apologizing for speaking out in anger, Luka. I am sorry I asked you to leave. I was frustrated.
I accept your apology.
Now,
Can we go save the world now?
was there anything else you two want to speak about?
Nope. I want to go throw this pearl into the dream.
Sounds right.
Seino, can you get us back to... Well, if you did fall through, do you know where that is? Perhaps we can come through on the other side.
Yeah, you know, there were the big stony things, and then there was a big pit of goo.
Perhaps if you're able to describe it to Seino, he could get us there.
You know what rancid meat looks like and feels like? Our DM is still pooping, so.
That's
Pooping out those dream pearls!
Yep, the dream pearls. Boop, 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 boop.
Now you know where they come from.
Yep.
Oh,
Straight from the ass.
is this a good time for a
Whoa.
restroom break for all of us then?
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to
Okay.
go.
I've taken a couple. I've had to pee a lot.
loads anus, dude.
Straight from the
Wayne
I'm back.
source.
Hey,
Oh, everybody else just went to the bathroom.
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
they decided since
basically-
you were pooping, they would poop with you.
Yeah. Poop in solidarity. So basically what you missed was Challa and Effie being like, we need to go save the world, stop arguing, and now we're going back, trying to figure out how to go back to Dragonholm.
Oh yeah, Sera's suggesting to Effie to describe where she fell through the dream spill to Seino to see if Seino can get us there.
Sounds
And on that
good.
note, I'm gonna go pee-pees.
Pee-pees and poo-poos? Wow. Pee-pees and poo-poos and pee-pees. Pee-pees and poo-poos and pee-pees.
Okay, now how was your bowel movement?
My bowel movement has been just fine. I dug deep into the root of my chi, and I
hate that.
I exfoliated my chakrams.
My God. Also, can I just say I love how you play gods? It's amazing.
Thanks. People like Onan Woad.
This is the first time, like, Cyclocus was so funny. I had to mute so many times to not laugh at just how you played him, and then Onan and Woe were just great.
And the twin brothers of the Dream are, they're really fun to play.
What's my HP roll? I could level up with AFK.
Oh yeah, we can.
Well, we're gonna level up when everybody's back, because
Oh, okay.
there's gonna be choices.
Then I will not roll.
Ooh.
Oh, you know what? We could do a little RP, Effie.
Are we rolling for
You wanna do
HP?
some, Storm?
Just got back.
Not
Yeah,
yet.
some
Wait for
RP.
everybody. We're waiting for everybody.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Hang on, let me unselect mode. Oh, good lord. There we go. Effie,
Yes.
why did you throw that amulet into
Kiss her.
the Quicksilver?
I thought Cyclocus was gonna catch it.
Did he?
Yes.
What do you think?
What'd he think?
Was he pleased with the tribute? That was pretty
Yeah.
powerful.
Yeah, I mean, look, he told me that I hadn't stolen in a while and that I needed tribute, and so I said, look, what I found and stole, and then I threw it to him.
What'd you get in return?
Oh, you know, this. And she holds out her Tiffany necklace with the Baker's Cup and the two swords.
Oh. Sera looks
Tiffany's
suitably
necklace.
impressed.
Tiffany's.
He told me I was his bottom bitch.
I don't know what that means, Effie.
What did you get out of it? Oh, he took me to Dillard's.
Took me to Tiffany's and the Golden Corral.
Bro,
Yes.
I would.
so
I
funny.
would take you to the Golden Corral.
It's so funny that Sera doesn't know what a bottom bitch is because she has no ass.
It's like being his #1 girl.
Oh.
Damn, you
You-
classy.
Do you have romantic interests in a god?
You know, it's never gonna happen. A girl can dream, but it's never gonna happen.
Kicks can maybe.
It does
Oh,
seem
shucks.
fitting that you would be attracted to one of the few things that are near impossible to have.
Everything would always come second.
Second
I
kiss.
understand now why you steal. It's easy.
It is easy. I mean, look at all the shit that I got.
That was pretty impressive.
I got 20 gold from a god.
Well, could you keep an eye out for 100 Drakenmark for me? I'd like to upgrade my staff.
Sure.
Don't worry, Essie. You'll never be second Cuse to me.
You know what, Sera?
Hmm.
I spent 40 Drakenmark on something for Luka. And he would just throw his life away holding the stuff that I gave him?
I think Luka is trying to understand themselves and quite selfish in the process.
Like, you know what?
Are
It's
they
fine.
whispering this or are they like
Yeah,
talking
we're-
out loud?
We're whispering and or changing to Teledani.
Aha! Y'all were whispering.
okay.
I'll whisper right back.
Oh, that's fine. I just wanted to be sure.
And also, Luca's a bitch. Don't worry, I whispered that.
Okay. All right.
So the
I love all this Luka
Teledon.
hate happening.
Is everybody back? We're really just passing time.
Yeah, we were
I'm back.
Honestly,
All right.
thinking about it, I just love that Effie can write on their resume that they shook down a god.
In the dream, nonetheless.
in the dream.
In their most powerful home.
All right, let's do this. It's time for level 6. Dun 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 dun
Dun,
dun dun dun.
Ooh, put me in the middle.
Oh, it took more than 40 sessions to get there, but that's fine.
Yep.
Skip that scene. Skip that scene.
Man, gets level 6, still complains about how long it took.
No, I'm
Session
excited.
41.
You know what? No more level 6.
Let me put this up here.
No,
Notes.
we got the Mom Kadum 20. We're supposed to.
Level
it's
6
nested.
obtained. There, it's officially in the notes.
It's officially in the notes. Oh.
Finally.
Mortal Kombat.
I'll even underline it. Oh my.
Will just comes back and say, no more.
Scaba beep 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 beep. Here we go.
Test your might.
Test your might. Test your might. That's so good.
Mortal Kombat.
That's so cool that you fucking know that the actual lyrics. It's so cool, dude. Test your might.
Your might. Bum 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 bum.
Alrighty, Maelie, Wildglen,
Hey.
the fading star.
Yeah.
It's time to become a level 6
I'm so
Wizard.
excited.
Thought you were gonna say waifu.
Congratulations, you are now a level 6 waifu. Oh, damn.
Damn.
I died and got reincarnated in another world as a wife.
As a waifu.
As a waifu.
So, what's the first method of business, sir?
First thing I need to do is figure out where you're... Oh, there it is. Wizard. Alright, roll me a d6. Minimum
A D?
4.
Okay.
That's for your health. Ooh, yeah. Okay. Clap those Czechoslovakias. Okay, this is 37. Putting you at 37 hit points. Making you a level 6 wizard. Nice.
Cool beans.
Nice.
Nice. I can add my own spells.
Mm-hmm.
So no worries about that.
Well, the big thing is that you are a 6th level war mage, which means you get power surge.
What's it do?
Power surge does this. I'm putting it in the chat box.
Oh, cool.
Putting it in the chat box for you. It is this. Let me click that. Click this. Actually, you know what? It looks like garbage in the Foundry chat. I'm gonna put it somewhere else. I'll put it in the Noats. The newts. Notes. Plan.
So.
At.
Oh, I see it. It's coming.
Essie. Blam, boom, bam. Okay, and this is what you get. Power Surge. Starting at 6th level, you can store magical energy within yourself to later empower your damaging spells. In its stored form, this energy is called a Power Surge. You can store a maximum number of Power Surges equal to your intelligence modifier. Whenever you finish a long rest, your number of Power Surges resets to 1. Whenever you successfully end a spell with the spell Magic or Counterspell, you gain 1 Power Surge as you steal magic from the spell you foiled. If you end a short rest with no Power Surges, you gain 1. Once per turn, when you deal damage to a creature or object with the Wizard spell, you can spend 1 Power Surge to deal extra damage to that target. The extra damage is equal to half of your Wizard's level.
Cool.
So bam! Pa-pow!
Alright. Stored inside myself as in my body or in like an artifact? Like, is that what my brooch does? Am I finally finding out what my brooch does?
Mm-hmm. You ready?
Yeah.
You ready for some star magic?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Okay, so because you're 6th level and you get Power Surge, your brooch allows you to use this to make it an Astral Surge instead. So, whenever you would use a Power Surge, you can instead make it an Astral Surge. The only time you wouldn't do this is if you didn't want to enact Astral Energy for whatever reason. So, most of the time this will always happen, but, you know. So, first of all, the damage that you deal is actually equal to your Wizard's level, and it's Astral damage instead. In addition to that, let's see here. Any Astral spell that you use that deals damage, you can re-roll the damage once. Why that's important is, for most spells, that's just more damage. But for Starlight Missiles, that gives you a chance to re-roll one of your d4s.
Ooh.
So, with your brooch, surge, max level damage, and 1 reroll on astral spells. There you go. So that's important because that gives you some manipulation there.
All right.
Okay.
Hey, I have a quick question.
Yeah, what's up?
While all of this is happening and the power is surging through me, is there a chance that I could potentially change my outfit to more suit what happened last time?
Are you asking me? Can you get new hat and new threads?
You're in the dream, baby.
Yes.
Will it so?
Yeah.
Can I
transformation?
Can I just do that, please?
Yeah, you can do that. What do you want? You got the art?
Yep.
Oh God, she has art.
Of course I do.
Oh my God!
What, you like it?
What the fuck? What the fuck?
Is this good or bad? I can't tell.
Holy shit, dude! All right,
He's proud. That's what that is.
give me a second. I'm getting so many mixed vibes from what's whoa. Hold on, she's got the touch. She's got
the look.
Do we all just see Maelie float in the dream and just do a magical girl transformation?
Sailor Moon transformation.
Literally.
Fighting evil by
Moonlight.
Winning love by daylight. Never running from a
Real fight.
She is the one named Sailor Moon.
Moon.
Maelie Wildglen.
She will never turn her back
Turn
on
her
a
back
friend.
on a friend.
She is
She's
always there to defend. She's the one on who we depend. She is the one named Sailor Moon.
Sailor Moon.
I'm gonna go watch Sailor Moon at
Bones
the
in
end
the
of this now.
clouds behind me.
Do you
the song?
remember in the first Sailor Moon movie when she's on the little asteroid planet and is like having the force
Oh
field?
shit!
That's
Let
what I
me
was
see.
It's
thinking.
time.
Pop it out. Pop it out.
And behold. Oh shit!
Oh my gosh, look at
Oh my god!
I love this thigh slits.
Oh
Are
my
the chaps assless?
Please say yes.
Please be a thong in the back.
Bro, she wearing a I'm about to wee-haw.
Look at that
canon now.
fanciful hat.
Hold on, I gotta see that one again. There's so much going on in this picture, dude.
I love it.
The sparkly background is S+.
The ass hanging out for me.
Oh my goodness. I mean, there is sheer fabric in the back, guys.
Yo!
Yes.
The wispy stuff is
Do we
behind.
see your butt?
Maelie
Yes.
puts on her Irha attraction gear.
Not entirely her, but it's swimsuit modest, guys. Come on.
Swimsuit
No, it's a
modest.
thong. It's a thong in the
It's
back.
basically like.
My God!
Effie's
Now
outfit
Irha
thing.
will have no choice but to look at your bottom.
Always walk in front of him.
You did say that the hat would make everyone notice that I'm a real wizard. Well, I guess there's some other things in this art too.
Yeah, there's a lot more going. Yeah, you're a real something, all right.
I was just all blushy just as soon as the transformation completes. He's just like, oh my.
Oh my God!
If Irha blushes, Maelie blushes too.
Oh, good. Everyone's blushing.
Here,
Okay.
does it.
All right. You can pick your new spells, but other than that, you're set. You're set, man.
All right, thanks.
No problem. Next up is the Paladin boy.
Gobbles!
Oh yeah. Roll me a 1d10. Minimum of 6.
Is he Pokemon evolving?
Godiva, the world eater.
Can we skip the paladin? Can we?
What?
I'm still learning. I'm sorry.
What?
Okay.
Oh,
To the end of the Congo line.
Luka!
Ah, yes, the useless cleric. Let's go.
Time has come. 1d8 R5 Or minimum 5, excuse me.
Here goes the encouraging tentacle massage. Max roll!
I'm so encouraged. She will never turn her back on a friend.
Is that right? I just want to be sure if that's right.
That looks correct. Yes.
Okay, I'll actually roll it. Hold on.
She is the one on who we deep. Now it's stuck in my
Literally
fucking
getting
head.
attacked by a
Sorry.
bug.
A 5.
Well, not much.
Complete. Something dark side.
Something.
Complete.
Complete.
All right. Luka is level 6. But guess what? That means that you get your next class feature. Bum 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 bum. Are you ready?
is-
Are you ready for like class features, brah?
Sure.
Yeah, like class features.
I think I can use Steeped in Awe now as a sovereign. Yes, I can.
Steeped in all sovereign.
So whenever an enemy fails a saving throw in your aura versus sphere, you gain temporary hit points equal to your wisdom modifier that this stacks with itself up to twice your character level. So I basically have what Vale had.
Yeah,
Okay.
feels good, man.
What's the range on that? I actually don't have that noted. What's the range on that?
What, your draconic aura?
Yeah.
It's 60 feet.
Oh, 60 feet. Okay.
Yeah. Also, you get another channel divinity use.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
very cool.
Channel divinity. Okay. Anything else?
That's it. I mean, and also you get to pick a new spell to learn.
Oh yeah.
But other than that, you're good.
Yeah, didn't get much. That's really okay. Cool.
But what do you
The
mean?
clerics don't get a lot in 6th level. Just a spell slot and another channel divinity.
That's not a little. That's so much. What?
It's just another 3rd level slot.
Clerics are so fucking strong, Luka.
Oh no! After today, he's not feeling very strong.
Oh,
Being
my.
sent to death.
What? You mouthed off to an evil god in his realm. You went into his house and shit on his floor.
I was proving a point.
No, you weren't. You were dying. Well, you proved the point you wanted to die.
It proved the point. It proved a point that he didn't share, which was something that he knew that gods would do if they felt pissed off. And kill somebody.
Yeah, I knew what you were gonna do. I just didn't think about it. Yo, I would have won the lottery. I
Proved a
thought the
point for
numbers.
him.
I thought the numbers. I thought the numbers of the lottery. I just didn't play it because I didn't want to test them.
Roll for me 1d6, Sera.
Oh, me.
It's
Right.
your turn. 1d6 minimum of 4.
Wow.
Whoa.
First
12 hit
time.
points now.
35.
I'm over 30, you guys.
So am I.
All right, hold on. I gotta look at a lot of Sera's stuff. Let's see here. We got
Power.
Unimaginable power.
She starts vibrating.
unimaginable power. What is your base?
Her keymaster stuff.
Okay, there it is. Keymaster. That's what I was waiting for.
It's in there somewhere.
Couldn't remember if you were Keymaster or not.
Yeah.
Let's see at 6th level. God, I'm in my old notes. I gotta get back to the... Hold on. Let me go through time again.
Oh, it's called relocate. Here, I'm gonna retitle this to Keymaster hyphen.
Would protection from poison be good?
Yeah, if you fight something with poison.
Does it do it for the whole group?
No, it's one at a time. That's the thing.
You don't have to worry about Sera. She's immune to it. She wallows in that shit. That's how she takes her baths.
Poison death.
The thing
Somebody
is,
else
wait,
gets in after.
Irha has something, right? He can like heal stuff after 24 hours.
Lay on hands?
Or is that like can you please remind me what that does? Like, does it take care of disease, poison, all
Yeah.
that stuff? Okay. Now, what's the likelihood that we're gonna fight something with poison?
Can you
High.
get protection from, I think it's energy? Like the generic one, and then you can just change it to whatever we're going against?
Well, one of the things is like we're going back to Drakenholm, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
Effie and Sera know what they've seen there.
That's true. There's a bunch of aberrations.
Yeah.
Oh,
Did
yes,
they
they-
disclose that to
No, because
the?
you guys haven't even asked.
They can take 5 HP to either cure disease or neutralize poison affecting the creature. Is also the spell.
All right, no one knows, I guess. Going in blind.
We've kind of not had the chance to ask. There's kind of been a bit of a rush.
Yeah.
That's true. Sera's taking up all the airway to tell everybody what their problems are.
She's like a bad therapist.
She's like, you know those homeless people that tell you, try and do insights about you while you walk past them on the street?
Yes.
She's like
I
them
see
if
you
she
got a
did-
left limp there.
Yeah. She's like that one that, like, got lucky 7 times. Like, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it almost seems like they're grifting. You know, I would love to see, like, a show for
Homeless people.
Sera, but it's like Long Island Medium, and she just goes to places and says, "I feel the demons, the spirits, and the foes." Oh, dude, your grandma wants to call you a bitch. Yo, from beyond the tether, from beyond the pale.
Your grandma wants me to tell you that she hates you. From beyond. Oh, that's cool. Look at the sparkles.
That's so pretty.
I'm sparkling and I don't know why. Did I accidentally cast that?
Yes.
Yeah, it's in the chat.
Wait, sorry, I was AFK for a bit. Where did Arcadum go?
He's looking at my shit.
Yeah.
He's giving you a colonoscopy.
Yep.
Okay.
It's gaped open and we're just peering.
I'm about that age right now.
Yeah. A big shout out to Pap Smash.
That's the opposite.
Big thumbs down.
Big thumbs down.
I don't know if anyone else does this, but I play a cleric in another campaign, and when I cast healing spell, the character can't be traumatized. If the character is traumatized, it doesn't heal it, so there's like a scar there. Like if they can't let go of like either their regret or something, so it can't entirely fix the problems of a character.
I mean, Irha is always traumatized.
All right,
so
Lolly. Sera, because she's
What's
a
up,
6th
baby?
level Keymaster, gets Gatebreaker. At will, the
Oh.
Keymaster can use Dispel Magic, but this at-will Dispel Magic can only be used on gates, symbols, glyphs, and sigils. The Keymaster can also sense teleportation effects that occur within 1 mile. This allows the Keymaster to track such abilities' direction, duration, and use.
Oh, shit. Wait, so all those teleportation circles, and I'm like, what does this do?
Now you can sense not only where they are, but where they're going and if they're connected to anything.
Yo, that's sick.
We can go back to the temple.
Let me know where it's going.
We gotta go back.
Let me copy that into my stuff.
Yeah, I put it in notes for you.
New feature, thank you.
And you also get like 2 new spells of your choice as well for the level you
I
can
wanted
cast.
to have her, because I've really been on the fence on what to get. I wanted to have her ask Moto, since he has access to the fiendish spell list, the devil spell list, what his recommendations / options are. Do you want to follow up on that later?
Yeah, we can do that later.
Okay.
Because we're already kind of over time, and I got another game.
Keep going.
And I got another game I got to get ready for. Seino I'll have to do with Rainzz. Effie, let's do you next.
There's not a lot in that big bag of yours. For me.
Just roll your fucking 1d8, minimum 5. There's not a lot in that bag for me. No. Aw, shucks. Alright, 41 hit points. Okey dokey. And you
Wait,
are...
that was my old number.
Oh. Hold on. Oh, it should be 48. Apologies. This thing
48?
48.
Yeah, 4d8.
For
4.
HP?
4-8. Okay. Now... Let's see it, you're a rogue. And at 6th you get expertise. Oh yeah. Choose another skill and become godlike.
Well, I can't stack, right?
Negative. So other than acrobatics and stealth, which you already have expertise in, what would you like to put expertise into?
Oh.
So I have deception, insight, investigation, and perception. I can't... Can I choose those?
Yeah.
Oh. Let me do religion as one of them. And then let me do sleight of hand for the other.
Sleight of hand and religion?
Yeah.
You don't have proficiency in those. Expertise
What
has
is
to
it?
be a skill that you're actually proficient in.
Well, how do I know what I'm proficient in?
You click your token and go to
We
your
have a check
sheet.
mark.
That's where you have the
Oh.
check marks. Yeah.
What? Aw.
You go from +3 to what, +6?
Yeah, because you get double proficiency modifier.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, then I guess it's gonna be investigation.
Uh-huh.
No more flippy
And-
doos.
Well, I can't stack acrobatics.
Alright, she already has expertise in acrobatics.
Yeah.
Oh.
And let me do perception.
Those are good ones.
Yeah.
Oh, perception? That's great. Our perception is shit. Oh, what's over there? I don't know.
Well
I don't
done.
know.
Good job, Effie. Level 6. Oh yeah. Challa! It is your turn. 1d10, minimum 6.
What's up? 10 or less than 6. Boop. Yeah.
Let's see here. Let me find where I put Ranger.
Ranger. Honestly, I've had such good rolls on health that I think this is fine. I think I know what I get from my subclass. It's the fact that I can put strings of inscriptions together now to make combo moves. So now the glyphs can be used together to make inscriptions that have some amplified comboing effect.
Yeah, you get to combine them together.
Do I get any free combo recipes?
Hold on.
Sweet.
Sorry, I've got like 100 million notes to go through. All right. So you have Rune Veld right now. You get the base types. And now you can make... Okay, at 6th level, you get to make inscriptions, which allows you to arrange draconic runes into combos together. Let's see here. You get... See, you start with Veld Accuracy, Veld Potency, and Igo Courage. And now you get...
I got Courage, Cost, Translocation, and Joth Vault from Sera, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, she did have all other 7 that she was going to give him.
Yeah.
That she did actually give him when we went through the Dying Lands, but I think that got missed.
All right. Well,
yeah.
I got a whole new list of stuff to write out for you, but I can't do it right now. Just remind me to do it, and they'll give you your full list. But
Cool.
Let me give you your HP. You rolled a 6 plus con is 3, 9. Yeah, you did roll well on hit points. My man's at 66 hit points. Damn. All right, and I'll have your full inscription list later. All right, Irha's turn.
Okay,
Are you ready?
I think so.
Nice job. You did it.
Yeah.
Good job. You win. All right, and at this level of Paladin, you get your first thing you get is Aura of Protection. So now you get your Charisma modifier to all saving throws, and all allies within 10 feet of you also add your Charisma bonus to saving throws. So that's +3 across the board.
Do I add my charisma to their saving throws, or do they add their own charisma?
They add your Charisma, so it's a +3.
Oh.
So everybody
Sick.
has a +3 to saves if you're within Irha's aura now. Which is very sick, nasty, double cool.
How big is the aura?
10
The
feet.
radius? Okay.
You gotta be close to him.
That's awesome.
Very good. Oh, and more importantly,
Yes!
Gobbles has evolved!
Oh shit!
Yay!
Pokemon trainer.
Let's go!
Gobbles is evolving into...
Does he have new art? I want to see it so bad.
He will have new art.
Oh, we have to wait.
Not yet. Alright. So yeah, now Gobbles is evolved, and when you summon him, he will no longer be a pissy teenager.
Oh my god.
How old is he now?
He
30?
gets a couple more brain cells.
Now he's like a young like rapscallion. He's like 20, 22.
Ooh,
He's very
I love
debonair.
it. Oh my. I'm gonna have a crush on your dragon.
Very
Ew.
good. Ew.
Scaly.
Scaly.
From the lady who wants to lay eggs.
I mean, look, I
Oh,
think
shit.
Sera lays eggs.
This is true. She's more prepared for a dragon baby than Effie is.
Yeah, true.
Alrighty, and that's where I'll have to call the session. So let's go ahead and get through fan art and stuff. Because I think there is quite a bit of fan art. Yes, there is.
We got to level 6, you guys.
I know.
Finally.
Oh my fucking god.
I no longer get to meme on Arcadum endlessly.
Finally!
Oh.
Finally!
Well, it's mostly because I don't get anything really cool until level 7.
Oh my. Do you want level 7? Will that make you happy?
No.
Okay.
No, the quiet no.
No. Alright, here we go. First up we have is Luka, but with more eyebrows.
Oh, let me click over. Oh my gosh, look at him!
He's so angry.
After Mr. Whimsical brought him back.
As you can see, the gap is
Mr.
continuing to narrow.
That was so funny when I and I'm like, you motherfucker.
You motherfucker.
Luka this
Mr.
session.
Whimsical was definitely a WWE identity.
Oh, yes. Jamie, what's it called? Davy Joe's locker?
I'm in your head rent free.
Yeah, what does that mean now? Is he just
Oh, you'll
there?
see. You'll see.
Oh, no.
Oh, here we go. Has had enough of their shite, is uncertain how to whim, wish, dream in these conditions. Eating some star snacks.
Good.
Dude, this is gorgeous.
Whim,
This is
wish,
gorgeous.
dream. I want that on my wall instead of live, laugh, love.
Yeah. This is gorgeous. Thank you,
Mortals.
Lloyd.
Oh, shit.
Yay!
Look at Sera.
Yes, in the center. Yes, main character vibes.
That's so pretty.
Give me, here's another one for you. Oh, very nice. So
Clap,
good.
clap, clap.
Oh, and here's Challa before Inu. Be right back.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
cool.
Oh.
Big fan.
Yeah, we finally had the big reveal.
I
All of these
know.
are so good.
Very
Yeah, they're
good.
gorgeous.
Very
Inu
nice.
has such big traps, dude. Holy
So what
shit.
was Eno really the great one in a wig?
Yeah, we'll see.
Oh, that means
Yeah.
yes.
I won't lie, when Owen was
Mhm.
clapping, it reminded me of Stolas.
He wasn't.
corner.
Delightful.
Yeah.
It wasn't
I love
Inu
that.
directly. It was the arm of Inu.
With a wig.
So pretty.
Yeah, with the wig, It's yeah. Arms cannot be women. That's a fact. Arms are
Is this
are only a masculine property. Women do not have arms.
That's
Wait,
true.
wait.
I'm a woman. Can confirm.
Yeah, he's been playing with her feet this whole time.
Oh, the Maelie. With the ass. With the ass.
Whoa.
You're muted, Arcadum,
Every-
for talking.
Oh, sorry. Hello, I'm back. This is Maelie. Look at that.
Melee at any enemy now. Your ass is grass and I'm gonna mow it.
Crow stepping to
Oh
the back of
my.
the line so Astra can level up.
Oh,
Oh, I'm sorry.
It really is. Like, oh shit.
Listen here, you little shit. I can talk about just snacking.
Wait, what?
It just zaps out of existence. Okay.
bye-bye.
Why do I know that quote from somewhere? Listen here, you little shit.
I loved when O was just like, uh-oh.
That's from
oh.
DBZA.
Ninja. That was from Ninja.
Oh,
These
okay.
are so cute. I'm loving all the art of the two gods.
I know.
Very good. Excellent job, everybody. What a stupendous
Excellent
session.
art community.
Look, we talked to
It's very
gods and we
cool.
only had one person kind of die. I would call that a
Yep.
great success.
See, it wasn't even as bad as you said it would be.
It was terrible.
Alrighty. That'll be it for me, guys. I got to get ready for Dark Sermon, which is in 30 minutes.
I
everybody.
shook down a god today.
Bye.
Hugs and kisses. Bye-bye, chat. See you soon.
Bye.